Good evening, sports fans. It's Pakistan versus Australia, it's Melbourne versus the Bulldogs, it's sports week, it's all happening, but your eyes are here on the GT3 Sprint Series, Octane Online Racing, round 5. We're in Zandvoort, land of pass, if he's around, land of orange, land of safety cars. Alex Bowen and Jesse McLean, welcome boys, how you going?
I am good, how about you?
I am feeling very excited for this one, and I am absolutely on this vote. There is a vote in chat right now. Go and get in there. Chatland, Jan Tully, Tack Grant, Craig Dale, welcome, David Thornton, Hamster, they're all here. Go and get into that vote. Put your votes in. There is going to be a safety car in literally all 8 races. So obviously it's our Super Sprint format this week. 2 30-minute races, reverse grid pole, you know the drill. But here at Zandvoort, with these GT3 cars being wide, there will be a safety car in, I suggest, all 8 races. Any thoughts on that?
I'm locking it in for sure.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's such a narrow track, and I'm sure lap 1 will be carnage in almost all of the races, especially second race of each split that we see.
I have never seen so many milk bets thrown around the Discord this week. Matt Powell is all over. He reckons we will make at least one of them with no safety car. I disagree. I think there will, and I'm with you, Alex. I think there's an absolute certainty in race 2 when you got that reverse grid happening and whatnot. But there will be a safety car in all 8 splits. And as I said, there's not been this many milk bets thrown around this week. But there's plenty of people getting involved in the safety car bets. Yes, good to see everyone in chat. Yeah, there's a couple of bets coming through already for Iced Coffee. Everyone wants a piece.
Well, we're just riding here with Sangrowski as we come into turn 1 at Tarzan. There's quite a few interesting corner names around here. Do we want to try? Yeah. Do we want to try and name them as we go, or would we rather just leave them?
For me? I haven't got a track back yet, so please take me through. What do we got?
All right. So going through here, we have Hugenholtz curve as we go through turn 3. Going through turn 4 now, Hunserug. Excuse my pronunciations, they are terrible. As we go through Rob Schlott, make a curve, and into Shivlak, I don't know. And
I'm loving this, keep it up.
Go through here, we come into the tricky turn 8 at Masters, before entering the very creatively named turn 9, and coming up just up ahead is the also creatively named turn 10. As we head down one of the few straights on this track here with Sangrowski's Mercedes in the dark mode AV car. Going down toward Hans Ernst, chicane down here at turn 11 and turn 12. Very tricky through here, gotta make sure you hit the curves perfectly, or else you are going to be flying into oblivion or flying into the wall. As we come through now into Kumo at turn 13, the second last corner. Oh, and he's gotten all switched up there and has had to go wide, which means that's going to ruin his run through Ari Luyendijk curve at the final corner. As we see Emily Jones just go through there now. Yes, there's a few corners on this track.
Tell you what, it was a bloody good effort. The pronunciations weren't great, but you fucking had a crack at every single one of those, and I loved it.
Yeah, that was something, that's for sure.
Those who aren't aware, Jesse McLean's with us tonight. He is a participant in our rookie series. He raced last night. How'd you go?
Yeah, I got a very nice looking P2 in the split A1 or A1 A2 joined in with us.
Nice one. Hello.
There was a cheeky safety car that was, gave me a stop go in practice, but we'll leave that alone.
Not cool. I'm not sure what happened there. I tried to talk to him afterwards. So how'd your race go though? You obviously kept your nose clean. Was there much drama in the rookies? You would expect the rookies to be a little less familiar with this track than our sprint drivers. How'd they go?
Everyone did pretty well, surprisingly. I think the guys up the front, who were obviously not used to up the front like myself, got a little bit spooked to begin with, but we did manage it pretty well. Mr. Maddox, who was in front of me, he was just too quick. I just couldn't catch the fella. But poor Mitch Weatherburn, geez, he did me a bit of a bad run.
He got absolutely murdered. Is he in this split, by the way? No, he's in split green. He's after this. Looking forward to watching his debut tonight. Mitch Weatherburn signing up for the Sprint Series. Debuted in the Endurance Series, if you don't know. What a way to go about that. Emily Jones looking like she's preparing for her next hot lap here. Very important corner, this one. There's not many overtaking opportunities here at Zandvoort at all. But you would suggest turn 1 is probably the best of those. So your exit out of the last 2 corners is especially important. Obviously, the last corner being flat in most cars under most setups shouldn't really need to lift. If you have to lift, then maybe your full fuel, your setup's just not quite doing it for you. So that second last corner, very important.
Well, I mean, or you're in the Nissan.
Yeah, well, I bow down to that knowledge. I'm not a Nissan driver myself, so if there are any cars out there and you know of them, let me know if there's none that can't take that. I'm in the McLaren, just sticks around there, easy peasy. I could do it twice, I could do a loop around there and it'd be still flat. Love the McLaren, so good. Emily's looking really tight here on this lap.
Oh, that's a bit wide.
Straight in the sand, never mind.
Yeah, she's had a few wide moments so far, but hasn't been too bad so far. Currently sitting P10, 1.6 seconds off of, you guessed it, Philippa Bakita.
No guesses for who's P1.
8 tenths up on Dan Hunter. Now 1 second up on Dan Hunter.
So question, Alex Bowen, I'll give this one to you because you've got enough experience to know I don't know the story here. Has she actually improved this year in terms of the gap she's created? Well, remember Suzuka when she was 24 seconds clear at Houlihan and we were saying, no, what, she's pulling out these performances weekly. Has she gone up another level?
I'd say so, because last season I was racing in split yellow and I don't think the gaps were as large as what they are now. It seems Bakita's really got a good handle of that Porsche, as we see Nipris come across the line now, currently P7, stays in P70s. Currently leading the Pro-Ams though.
That's pretty standard for Matty Nipris. He loves leading the Pro-Ams around, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him do that again tonight. He did that in Suzuka as well. Very, very handy driver. Might be just looking for a little tap on the shoulder next season when that one comes around, which of course will have a bit of a season break after Kyalami next week. So just 2 rounds to go. Zandvoort, the Super Sprint here, and then Kyalami next week. And then, as I said, we'll have a little season break. And we'll try and work out when the next DLC is coming, whether or not that's bringing tracks with it. You know, cars are coming, so there's a bit of news yet to come. So we will be patient between the 2 seasons to try and get our heads around that before we launch in anything.
Yeah, those cars are coming sort of next week, aren't they?
Are they? Okay.
Something like, I think like later next week, maybe the week after. I'm not.
That's very exciting.
That's very spicy.
Yes, and we know a few so far. One of them being the new Audi R8. That's going to be a really interesting one to drive for certain. Also, the car that Valentino Rossi will be driving in this year's GT World Challenge, coming from MotoGP over to the GT World Challenge.
Dolce Rod improves, goes up to P8. Emily Jones comes across the line, also improves. Nice lap up into P5.
Nice improvement from her.
Very nice improvement, yeah. Here comes Jared Manafort, the KRL Motorsport entry. Aston looks very comfortable around here. Aston looks comfortable everywhere.
Yeah, I was about to say, the Aston just seems to know how to stick it through just about
bumping the sand a little bit there, so just a little bit. You can see he can even use all the track on this, so his speed wasn't great through the last sector, but it does improve. And he goes up into P11. So nice little finish there from Manafort. Looks like there's 2 more still coming around to finish. 4, 5, 1, and 33. That's Jordan Bianchini, who plonks himself in P21. And last one across the line. Looks like he's going to pull up nicely behind him. I thought he was going to punt him then. We don't do that. Nice one. Nice work, everyone. So it is Bakita up the front, and it looks like Houlihan next to it. Your rank and file 1 and 2 almost every week of the season, I would suggest. I'm not sure if we can go back far enough to find out if anyone's pinched either of those top 2 spots in qualifying.
You'd suggest maybe Zachary Smith earlier on in the season?
Surely there was one, right? Good to see Matt Pignata here. He missed Suzuka. And I know he was a little bit ill today, so he's pulled out all stops to make it here, and he's plonked himself in P12. Suma right behind him in P13. Ashton Reynolds also doing very nicely up there in P14 with Simon Gorowski behind him in P15.
It's interesting to note here, though, that Matt Nipris, Pro-Am, is faster than Ashlyn Reynolds, who is Pro, in the same car.
Yep, shows he's got a handle on that car, for sure.
We all know that Nipris loves his Nissan, so it might just be one of those things where his love for it is just managed to get those few extra tenths out of it.
Warren, Miller, and Shazran, the top 3 spots for the AMs, 17, 19, and 20 respectively. So, yeah, safety car, it's on its way. Prepare yourselves. I'll happily take the call here for the first race. I'll take the call for all 8 races because I'm going to call 2 corners and then I'm going to call safety car.
Yeah, fair enough. It's not a lot of work that you have to do then.
Yep, I'll just take the night off. I'll say, here they come down to turn 1. Yeah, looked a little bit risky through there. There's one out in the background. And here we come to turn 2 and safety car.
Well, correction. We have technically 2 turn 2s at this track. Really, we have 2A and 2B, which is sort of just like 2 little kinks in the track.
2A and 2B? I've never seen that before. They are 2.
Yeah, just kinks. One's just a little left-hand kink. The other one, yeah.
All right. Well,
take a little more. But
don't worry about the kink. That's not turn 2 for me. I'm calling 2B turn 2, and that it's the inside curb at turn 2. 2B. It's that inside curb.
Oh, definitely.
It is a death curb. It's like we're going to see Cheetah next week. Everyone's like, "Oh, that's a death sausage."
Oh,
yeah, we've had cameras on that for 9 hours. That's how deathly that sausage is.
The definitely not Bunnings snag cam.
But yeah, it is turn 2 here. That inside curb. If anyone touches that curb, they will end up on the bonnet of the car next to them. If there is any 2 wides, which of course there will be because they are race car drivers. We always tell them to go single file and they never listen.
Just a question before we get going. When do you think this track was opened? Take a random stab in the dark.
Is this a trivia question and you already know the answer?
Yeah, I've already looked this up, mate. I'm all over it.
1895.
1937.
You know, right back before they had cars, this was a horse track and they used to pull carts and stuff around it. That's my guess. 1895.
It was actually opened in 1948.
Oh, really?
It was going to be making a major street circuit before the war, but then obviously the war came along.
Oh, I mean, well, we all know what you have to do on a street circuit. You really have to be alert on a street circuit, according to Joey and Palmer. But looks like we'll be coming around final few corners now. There was a few cars that went just slightly off on the formation lap, but nothing too major, and I'll leave it to JC from here.
I don't mind that you come in here spitting facts while our resident fact man is away for the night. He might join us later if we're lucky. I don't know how we're going to attract his attention. Maybe chat. If you can put in a random fact for the night and we pile up chat full of facts, maybe that will draw his attention and he might just make an appearance. But for now, we will get stuck into Split Yellow, race 1. Houlihan will lead us away. Houlihan will lead us away following Bakita is what I meant to say, I guess. And Dan Hunter right behind them. And Mega D doing very nice out there in P4. Didn't see that. That's a weird sort of start from the front 6. Not quite grouped up. But anyway, off they go. Emily Jones putting a bit of pressure on Dan Hunter. And Megan D braking very late into turn 1. Using the outside of the track. Not a lot of grip there. So Emily Jones takes over P4. Down into turn 2. They will try and get into single file, I'm sure. Emily does nicely. Sticks it in there. And Megan does give way. So nicely done through turn 2. It looks like we've made it through for the top 10, 11, 12, 13 cars. Tell you what, that's all nice through there. Matt Powell, has you got some milk on the table, I reckon. I tell you what, Split Yellow, hats off. Nicely done. They are all single file through sector 1. There's not even a yellow flag back there, let alone a safety car. Nice work, Split Yellow.
I think that has got to be one of the cleanest starts I have ever seen.
Oh, Alex has jumped on the mic and all of a sudden action's kicked off as Lexus getting interested up the inside of Naston there. Looks like he's going to get it done. That's James Keffin having to give way to the Lexus there. He's not letting this one go just yet. And
there it goes.
That is a boop. But the Lexus does well to hold it, actually. Spins off across the track, but keeps it going straight. So now Kefford getting done by 2 Lexus, and now he gets a touch from that froggy-looking car. And they are still continuing to go straight, so I don't think there'll be a safety car there. Got a little spicy there for a little while, but they managed to make it through. So milk on the table, Matt Powell. Nice one. I wasn't expecting that from race 1 of 8.
Oh, Nippers.
He's held it.
Oh, and there goes.
Looks like that salty rod coming off, yeah. So he caught the wrong end of the stick there as Matt Nippers tried to recover his car, and he did so. He managed to keep it going, which he's entitled to do. He's allowed to try and recover his spin, and unfortunately the little concertina behind him, salty rod, comes off second best. So after lap 1, it's Paquita, Houlihan, Hunter, Jones, D, with Jacko Boats, Jacko and Jackson 6 and 7. Cook, Nippers, and Pinata rounding out your top 10. Matty Pinata making up a couple of spots, and in a Neapolitan Mercedes, by the look of it, being chased around now by Ashlyn Reynolds, who said in the Nissan will be looking to make some moves, maybe a little bit further down the grid than he would like, but not a lot of places to do it here at Zandvoort, just McQueen.
Yeah, there's all been kept pretty clean. I've actually got a, I'm not going to call it a bender fact, it's a Macca fact tonight while Bender's away.
Whoa, hang on. Whoa. That man's got facts TM'd. I don't know about that. I don't know about a Macca fact, but all right, spit it out. Let's see how it goes.
Well, watermelon seeds have one of the highest nutritional content of any seeds. They are high in protein, good fat, and minerals like magnesium, zinc, and copper.
What is this, a health class?
What? Yeah, who eats watermelon seeds? Get out. No more commentating. Get in the corner. Take your fact and sit in the corner. Ashlyn Reynolds now putting pressure on Matt Pinata in this versus a tricky curb here too. You don't want to get too much of that, although it looks like the Nissan handles it pretty well. So, never seen anyone touch that curb. Looked like he was all over it. Maybe it was just me. Little kiss of the sand there, and then flat through here.
Something I'd just like to point out about Star, I wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe a few penalties about being out of position. Looked like, specifically maybe Kyle Jackson was a little out of position, a few car lengths back further than he should have been from the car ahead.
Yeah, spot on. Great call. We observed that at the start. There was a few cars not quite in position. So, yeah, spot on from the Alex. Wouldn't be surprised to see a little end or two handed down for those. Couple of cars in the pits here. Looks like 27 and 33 have made their way into the pits. So, we must have missed a little incident there. There's obviously no mandatory pit stop in the Super Sprint races, so they are in the pits for damage. Yeah, Emily Jones had a very nice start. Had a little battle there with Megan D through the first 2 turns. And Megan D did the right thing and gave way into turn 2. But wanting to ruin both races by contesting that. That's what we want to see all night long, and especially tomorrow night, and especially in split red. Hello, that's a graphic that sometimes says safety cars coming, but there's no safety car.
I think that was
actually, does that count? Does that count? Matt Powell?
I sense the excitement there.
I saw safety car. Does that count, Matt Powell? What do you reckon? Is the bet still on? Carry on.
Well, I mean, we haven't asked him yet what flavour milk he wants.
I reckon I know the answer to this too. I think he's posted it. Philip Paquita goes quickest with a 34.8.
Just got
34.8 in race pace. Okay.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Looks like Matt Pinata just got a little loose on the exit of the second last corner there, but has been able to hold off Ashlyn Reynolds for now. Still holding on to that P10 position while being a bit sick, which is fair play to him. He's doing a decent job.
We've got our first non-bender fact in the evening. The singular of confetti is confetto.
The more you know.
Yeah, but fair enough.
I feel smarter after that.
And you can take your watermelon seeds, or take one singular watermelon seed and put it next to your confetto.
It sounds like you're trying to say cornetto.
Cornfetto.
Confetti.
Matterford looking very nice here in P12. P12 is the spot you want to be here at Zandvoort for race 2, that's for sure. If he can just cruise around nicely, he will pick up pole position for the next race, so he will be well aware of that at the moment. But Simon Gorowski behind him will also be aware of that. He'll be trying to chase him down. He'll want a piece of that 12 position. And Ashlyn Reynolds, Matt Pinata and Matt Nipris all up there as well in 9, 10, 11, just around about that place. So they're all in a good spot for race 2. But at the moment, as we said, P. Bakita absolutely storming away with this one at the moment. Already 3.5 seconds clear of Houlihan, making that Porsche look like it's on another level.
He's basically just driving on rails, is Bakita. She really knows how to send cars around these tracks. But Matt Powell is saying that, that's Def. That's Bianchi. Oh, no.
Hang on. Fire Lord, where are you? That is a safety car. They're all over the pit lane. Come on, call it out. Let's go. Oh, how has that happened? We're going
the Lexus, please.
Oh, join. The Lexus has navigated that pretty well, just quietly. Oh, these guys want to go in the pits. They are all sorts of damaged. So I'm very interested to see a replay of that. So coming around the final corner, obviously a couple of cars battling. And they've, just got a little bit unstable and... yeah, right. Wow. Whoa. Little kick in the heart there. Hello. That's just started us up. A lot of F's coming through in chat. Fair enough, too.
I reckon that style of a bit of Bianchini just getting maybe a little wide at the last corner, just losing the rear end, getting into the pit wall and just not being able to slow it down before more cars came around the final corner and just carnage from there. But
here comes your
we'll have
replay.
a look now.
Talk us through it, Alex. What happened?
Well, we're currently on board with Matt Pinata and Nipris just ahead. Oh, Pinata lost it.
Snap!
So it actually started with Pinata getting too much on the inside curb at the final corner.
The rejoin's fine, so that's okay. He looks okay.
What's
happened back there? What's happened back there? And then I don't know if he's held his brakes or what's happened there, Bianchini. So this looks like it's sort of middle sector-ish. We're going to come up to the left-hander here.
No, it was the final corner.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to work out where we are on track at the moment. Here we come into the final sector. So Bianchini around the second last corner. So that's where Pinata just caught the sand here on this inside curb, just flicked himself off, whereas Bianchini just went wide and just lost it. That is an interesting look. He's just lost traction.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
No.
Stewards won't be happy with that one.
That's a bit naughty there. I reckon he may have kept some throttle in there.
So here comes Miller around the final corner, and he's not sure what to expect, and then slam. Oh. He is a passenger. Unlucky for Miller. Nothing he could have done there.
Yeah, it was just a passenger through there. It was really nothing he could have done. There was just no way he was going to be able to predict where Bianchini was going to go, which was really unfortunate, but I'm sure stewards will be looking at that quite closely as we jump back here between the battle of Jackson, Jaco and Brad, 2 Maccas and an Aston.
Tell you what, I was very, very impressed with the amount of Fs that came through in chat there. Very nice work, chat. MVP from you, Matt. Matt's remembered the bet that I put on in rookie practice, so I owe a lot of safety cars now, a lot of iced coffees now. That's for sure.
That was just what I was gonna touch on before we saw that Bianchini action. The bet that you had with the rookie series.
I can't believe that wasn't a safety car. They were spread all over the home straight. I thought this is surely it. Matt's gone in there and just given him a tap and said, nah, play on. Oh.
That wouldn't be my split, was it? So I thought we were all pretty safe.
I believe it was your split.
I think it was more a bet for the Sprint Series the next day that was being talked about.
No, I was in the practice server for the rookies, and I offered every rookie an iced coffee if there was no safety car in any of these 8 races. So here we go in race 1. I've already lost that bet. That's a lot of iced coffee for a lot of rookies. I was sort of hoping Matt had forgotten it, but he hadn't. He's all over it. He's jumped straight in chat tonight. He's all over it. He's red hot. He wasn't letting me get away with that one.
Well, I mean, if I'm told that I'll get free iced coffee if I get the right side of a bet, I'd definitely remember it.
I'm not going to go with that team name, Phil Donny, but it's an interesting one. I'll let chat read that out, and they can have a bit of fun with that one. He's
Just had
looking
to squint to read that one for a little bit. So we've got
he's
quite the bow here. And
reasonably
ooh,
quick.
wow.
Stop, go 30. That's what we thought would be coming. Something very sinister. That's what you get. Hold your brakes if you are a part of an accident.
Yep, that is one of the cardinal rules of sim racing. You never like to see penalties at large, but I think for that one it's, yeah, definitely warranted considering the situation.
So 12 minutes down now. We've had a little bit of action so far already. It's been as you said, Jesse, a spicy start to this one. Bakita currently storming away, as we said before. Houlihan and Hunter round out the top three. Jones and D, the two girls up there, P4, P5.
Update, Houlihan's just run wide and is now in P4. And Emily Jones is now in P2.
And Megan D all over the back of Houlihan here too. So well spotted. Houlihan has lost a couple of spots there, which extends the lead that Philippa currently holds. She's now at nearly a 10-second gap. So what interests me now is race 2 and having Bakita in P12. She's clearly seconds clear of the rest of the field. Can she make moves happen? How high does she finish in race 2? Get your prediction caps on that one. We'll get a replay here of what happened to Houlihan. Love this corner. Beautiful sweeping right hand. You get it tucked into the camber there. It's not the one where he lost it. Takes a fair chunk of that curb, and as soon as you hit that grass, that sucks you out.
Oh,
so
Dan hit it as well.
Yeah,
but
so
not
Emily
as
Jones
much.
has cleaned up. She's done nicely there and picked up 2 spots. But yeah, Houlihan just dipping his tyres out there in that sand. As soon as your tyres hit that grass, you are just sucked out there. There's no coming back from it.
Yeah, it's so easy to do, and when it happens, the only emotion you feel then is just pain. There is nothing else that you feel. It's just, yeah, it's not fun when you do that. But yeah, it's allowed Megan D to get right onto the back of Ryan Houlihan's Paddle Pop Racing Mercedes, and she'll surely be putting a lot of pressure on Houlihan. Oh, that was a bit loose there.
The Aussies have got another wicket. They're 4 for. And the Doggies have had a really good second quarter, and they're up at half-time, considering they got spanked in the first quarter. So it's all happening there in the sports. I'm so glad sports back. I'm a massive sports fan. So I'm glad this is all happening all at once. We've got the Formula Ones coming back this week as well. Oh, rub your hands together.
Speaking of Formula One, Daniel Ricciardo's just returned a number of negative COVID-19 test results, which means he will be back in the paddock tomorrow and will be racing.
I say boo, like I love Daniel Ricciardo, don't get me wrong, but I was sort of hoping Oscar Piastri was going to run at it. But that was
I mean, there's always a chance later on in the season if Norris gets COVID or we have an injury from Ricciardo or something.
Can't forget Alpine, he'll probably have a few sessions as well.
Yes.
But who knows? Nando or Ocon might have a bit of a misfortune.
We've got the question, has he tested positive for washed yet? I mean, we'll have to see after the first race of the season. That's going to be interesting.
saying what we're all thinking there, Octane Online Racing, just quietly. We all love Danny Rick and we're all patriotic and we want him to succeed because we're all Australian, but he's just not quite got it anymore, I don't think. He's certainly not as quick as he was in his Red Bull days. But we still want him to succeed. We love him. We want him to do well.
It's good to see some Aussies coming through though. We've got quite a few coming through in the junior categories as well. I think it's quite nice. Might be just near that time for him, unfortunately.
Brad Cook is having an extraordinarily clean race, looking very tidy. Couldn't curse him off the track in Suzuka, and that'll be the same here tonight as he looks very nice here behind Jacko. He had a couple of battles at Suzuka with Jacko, if I remember correctly. Jacko got himself into a little bit of trouble. He had to pace that night, but picked himself up a 10-second penalty for a collision. So he's looking good here in P7, but yeah, Brad chasing him down P8. They're both looking pretty tidy for a race 2 result.
We've got car 451 disqualified for not serving stop go 30.
Oh, that's Bianchini.
That's
So just not what? It's not the Discord, or no? Because you've got it on your screen.
Yeah, you have it on your screen. Like, I don't know why he hasn't served it. No.
Yeah, well, cop that. Hold your
Yeah.
brakes, serve your pens, get in the pits, get out. It's off. He'll cop a whack in the Discord. I don't know if he's able to return for race 2 after he'd been disqualified in race 1. Someone might want to clear that up for me. If someone gives him a little word over the next 13 minutes and says, hey man, you got to serve your penalties and do the right thing. And if he says, yeah, I'm sorry, apologies, and is he allowed to come back for race 2? Or is he disqualified from this week's event? So he can come back for race 2. All right, hopefully he does.
Fingers crossed. I mean, I'm sure the stewards will
Brad
be having
Robertson's. Sorry, but Brad is all over the ball.
Whoa!
Crikey Moses, he nearly cleaned up Warren there. Warren making that Honda look very wide. And I tell you what, he wants a run up here, but there's just no overtaking opportunities on this track. Brad defending the inside line. Down he goes, as long as he pulls it up.
Oh no, he's run wide. That
has. So
can he hold it around the outside though? Brad's gonna have his nose just stuck up there, but not quite enough room there. So Warren holds off for now. It's a very close battle.
Not over yet. Robertson still wants some of this. Although that Honda VTEC kicking in around the last corner. Look at that, just tears away. Absolutely got the exit right. And there's no opportunities for Robertson down here into turn 1. Looks like he closed the gap under brakes, which is impressive in the McLaren. But he got a little bit tail happy around the exit there too. So Warren holds on for another lap. Currently leading the AM class in P13. And I'll tell you what, knocking on the door of that P12 position. Currently held by Professor Gorowski. If you don't mind, he'll be very happy with that with 11 minutes to go. He'll be looking forward to holding off Brad if he manages to catch him. It's a 5-second gap he's got to close though.
Definitely takes some effort, that's for sure. I mean, we do have to remember that Brandon Warren is in AM class while Gorowski is in the Pro Am class. So if he's able to close that down, that will be quite something to behold. But yeah, just jump aboard here with Dan Hunter in the Neapolitan racing car with Houlihan close behind. This is going to be a great battle for P3 to the end with Hunter, Houlihan, and even Carl Jackson close behind.
So one thing I did learn about this track last night is that you've got to force a mistake. I just couldn't believe how hard overtaking was. Glad mine was pretty easy, but Jesus hard.
It's always hard to make moves around such a narrow track like this. So yeah, forcing people into mistakes, like getting in all their mirrors, as we see here from Lit Wheels on Paul.
Whoa!
That got close, but that was an example of what you were just saying there, Jesse, about trying to force other drivers into mistakes by, getting all up in the mirrors of the other drivers and just forcing them into thinking, oh no, are they going to dive up my inside, or what should I do? It just really plays with their mind in that moment. I mean, they're all the things that you learn when you're in the rookie series, is how to actually fight wheel to wheel with other drivers and get moves done on track. It's not the easiest thing to learn, but you always have a good starting point when you get into rookies, and then you can try and master it as you get into the sprint series.
I did
What are
enjoy the
your-
safety car, by the way. The safety car stuff. That was very knowledgeable last night. I was getting yelled at by Sonikai, telling me how to warm my tyres and warm the brakes up. But it was a very knowledgeable. I think this might be the word. I don't know, it might not be the word, but I'll run with it.
Enlightening. They're pretty
That
good
might be
skills
the
to
word.
learn how to tuck in behind the safety car, and obviously the formation lap and all the stuff we want you to learn to get up here in the sprint series. So that yellow flag still waiting for those cars in the pit lane. Dear. What are your favourite sorts of tracks, fellas? Are they these ones where it's a bit of an attrition battle where you got to hold your line and defend and there's not a lot of overtaking? Or are they the bigger tracks like Kyalami and Paul Ricard where there are lots of overtaking opportunities and all sorts of areas where you can make moves? Which sort of race do you prefer? This one where you settle in for half an hour, or the one where you're battling flat out for half an hour?
I like a bit of both, because like my favorite track in like the F1 game, for example, is Baku. Yeah, it's very tight and you have a lot of areas where you have to defend, but there's also a lot of areas where you're racing really close and wheel to wheel with another driver. So yeah, I saw like a bit of both, to be fair, which is, yeah, it's like there are elements of this track that I like, some elements I don't like. Same with Kyalami, Imola, Mazzano, or all the tracks that I sort of like. There's positives and there's negatives as well to it.
We'll get along a lot here, Alex. I say Baku is also my favourite track, but also Zandvoort. I'm a big fan of Zandvoort. I just don't know why. The F1 game. Actually, fun fact, that's where me and Convoy actually first met each other. Back in the F1 series.
Or back in the day. Yeah. Did you find that your F1 experience at this track helped you out last night?
I reckon it did, even though it's a different kind of circuit layout. But the experience did help. Once I nailed in the setup, I felt totally comfortable around here.
Another track worth pointing out is Suzuka. Very technical, very fast. Yeah, have a few difficulties making overtakes, but when you go racing wheel to wheel with another driver, oh, it's a hell of a lot of fun doing it through those fast, flowy corners.
I will admit I was
agreed.
scared of Suzuka.
Suzuka's definitely up there for me. It's sort of a good mix of those two, really. It's
Yes.
a technical, difficult track, but there are plenty of places where you can open up battle and get wheel to wheel and that sort of stuff. So it's a great mix of both disciplines.
We only have
Tell you
6 minutes to go.
Emily Jones has done really well, just quietly gone about her business, had a nice clean lap one, made a little aggressive push and plonked herself up there in sort of the top 3 or 4 spots, and has capitalised on a few mistakes from other drivers, and now up there in P2, so Nikita won and Emily Jones P2 doing very nicely. But we're on board here with Linton Wills in Team Stroopwafel. I assume that is a Dutch word of some description. It looks like he's in the burnt orange Mercedes too. If I'm not mistaken, that is an orange. Maybe my contrast is wrong and it's a brown. I don't know. Don't eat me. Anyway, he's chasing down Paul Cranich.
Would you say
Speaking
bronze?
of colours.
Yeah, bronze. Yeah. Speaking of colours, Alex.
Yeah, speaking of colours, he's got a big yellow Aston in front and a nice British Racing green Aston in the back, filling up his mirrors quite nicely. So, a bit of an Aston Martin sandwich here with the British currently surrounding the Germans.
British surrounding the Germans in the Netherlands.
Yes,
Ominous.
very ominous.
So these three have been locked in battle for a while now. Linton just hasn't quite had the pace to get anything done past Paul. Puts himself in his mirrors here.
He's
Down
been
the
doing a lot of that.
inside. Yeah, he is. He's trying to put him under pressure, but Paul, very experienced driver, usually runs the Bender Strat and is probably up and around about position 3 or 4 at this point before his next pit stop in about a minute or so. Oh, that was close there from Gabriel Laputs up behind Linton Wills as they came into that hairpin. He looked like he was all up in his business, but managed to avoid any collision. Jackson, another one who's had a nice tidy race up here at P5. Where's Nikita? Hang on. What has happened? Can't even see her on the board. That is a disconnect, that suggests.
I'm looking at the chat, see if something's going on.
Oh
No, nothing's come up. Must have been recent.
Well then,
Do we
there's only
have
one thing that can stop her, and that'll be it.
Have we had Kunos Tings affect Makita once more?
There she is.
Yeah, she's just joined back and she's, oh no, down in P12. Oh no, that's...
Yep, she's disconnected, reconnected, she's in the pits, so controls will be locked. She won't be able to rejoin for another 2 or 3 minutes, and that means she will be passed by the entirety of the field.
So we were talking about her starting from P12 for the next race. She's going to be starting right at the back for this next one. That's devastating for Philippa. She was driving a magnificent race.
She still gets a chance to have a crack at super qualifying, so she'll be, you would suggest she'll be starting from P13 as opposed to P12. Here we go. This would be the shot of the disconnect. She's probably going to turn into a submarine or something here. Always enjoy watching these disconnects and seeing what happens and all sorts of different... A little bit of sand there on the exit. That looks nice and smooth. And gone. Just gone.
Just gone.
Not even submarine. Not even anything. Just gone.
Ouch. Although what this does do is it tightens up the fight for P1 with Emily Jones now leading, with Dan Hunter currently defending hard from Ryan Houlihan. Right up the inside, that's not going to work.
That was not worth it.
Hunter's
never
done
gonna work.
very well there, actually. I reckon Hunter might have opened up the steering just a little bit, expected the contact, didn't try and turn into it, which allowed him to keep the car straight, and he holds on to P2. So Hunter handled that really, really well. And Houlihan managed to come out of it unscathed as well. But you would suggest the stewards will have a little look at that one and give him a bit of a slap.
Definitely, that was not the smartest move from Ryan. Yeah, it's close to the end of the race. That late race desperation does creep in a touch, but you still have to keep it clean with other drivers on track. And unfortunately, he just wasn't able to do so there with Dan Hunter. Just trying to make a move from a fair way back.
These boys, they were former teammates in the Endurance Series before, weren't they?
Yes. They're quite good friends, so I'm sure there's no love lost between them, but the stewards will still have a good look at it as we see Jared Matterford on Ashlyn Reynolds. Matterford's having a fairly decent race in this one, isn't he?
Yeah, he did really well in qualifying and doing very nicely here, up in the top 10 and looking very sharp for race 2. Tell you who else is looking sharp is Brad Robertson, enjoying P12 at the moment after Philippa's disconnection. There's a lot of people enjoying the benefits of that. Unfortunate for her. She still holds the purple lap, so she'll like that.
And yep, Ryan Houlihan, 5-second penalty for causing a collision on lap 18 as we enter the final lap of this race. So Houlihan's podium hopes are over, but he'll still most likely hold that P5 position at least.
Emily Jones is going to win this one.
Yeah, 3.8 seconds ahead of Dan Hunter. That just goes to show that consistent driving can pay off in the end if you just keep it clean.
Go and check out her Twitch. There'll be plenty of fans in there. She's got a whole heap of followers, many more than anyone else I know. So go and give her a clap in her Twitch chat. She'll be happy with that. She rounds this final sector and brings it home. But you can be here. Just needs to hold position and she'll pick up a podium as well. She's got the advantage of the 5-second penalty on Houlihan in front of her, so she doesn't need to do anything silly to pick up P3. And as we said, Dan Hunter doing very nicely for himself in this race, kept his nose reasonably clean, and will come home in P2. Barring any catastrophes here in the final sector, which you wouldn't expect from these classy drivers. Steady as she goes. Emily Jones. Hello. That is a great team name. I'm never going to disagree with that one. Put the yellow flag away. Get the checkered flag out. Emily Jones, P1 in race 1 here in split yellow. Nice work. Dan Hunter comes across in P2. Houlihan crosses the line in P3, but will drop down to P4 as Megan D claims that podium position. Jacko and Jacko come home in 5 and 6. Cook, Niparis, Reynolds and Matterford will round out the top 10 as they come across the line. And then in P11, it is the Professor Gorofsky in P11, and Robertson will cross the line in P12, and we'll start from the front of the grid in race 2.
Bit of a quiet drive from him, but a good drive from Brad Robertson. Pretty sure he actually did end up getting past Brandon Warren, so that battle between Robertson and Warren was quite crucial at the end there.
Yeah, we're on board with that one for a while, and he looked like he had the pace, just needed to find a way, so glad he got it done. Philippa showing her disgust, and fair enough too. Finishing all the way down there in P22, that is unfortunate. Shows you how bloody far in front of the field she was. She had a pit stop and a control lockout, and she still managed P22. Phil Donny is reasonably quickish. He comes across for a top 20 finish. So you're not wrong. We had 6 minutes to go before we knew it. Blink and you'll miss it. There goes race 1.
Yeah, it was really a blink and you'll miss it, and it seemed when I mentioned the time left, that's when things sort of start to kick off as we enter the second qualifying session. So I'm pretty sure drivers who finished P13 down will be able to compete in this session to try and work out some sort of order for this race. So the top 12 will be reversed, and then top 13 down will qualify again to work out positions from P13 down.
So how high, how big's the gap going to be between Bakita and P2?
2 seconds.
2 seconds is a pretty handy starting point, I'd suggest. Jesse, you got a bet on this one?
I'm going to say 1.7. We got a little bit lower.
Couple of numbers coming out in chat. I want some decimal places too, by the way, because there's not a lot of options here. Yes,
2.069.
Oh, okay, we'll go specific. 1.783.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty large gap. So I think she was 1.2 seconds clear of P10 in the first qualifying, and obviously those top 12 drivers a little bit quicker than the bottom half of this field. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty significant gap. And we still get to see her climb up from P13, so it's not a lot different from watching her climb up from P12, so we're still looking forward to that.
She'll be coming with a vengeance for sure.
That Porsche looks hooked up around some of these corners. She'll be looking to fight back after the disconnect to race 1.
It's got a random ad on my fact page and just freaked out. Oh, jeez.
We'll probably stay on board with it.
Ads can be fact sometimes.
We'll see how she goes here. She's warmed up. She's ready to go. She's seeing red. She's slapped her keyboard around a little bit. And here she goes. Turn 1. Nicely tucked into the camber there. 2A and 2B navigated pretty tidily. Interesting, she used a fairly high line through there, still on the racing line, but nowhere near as tucked in as some cars do into that camber. Sort of using a bit of a higher line there. Absolutely love this corner. So I reckon this is one of my favourite corners in the game, on any track. Get it right. Yeah, just throw it in there. It feels like so much fun.
I bet it even in like F1 2020 before 2021 came around. That was my most fun corners. That's where I made up all my time against others, except for one, Jamie Convoy.
Of course.
Ah, mate, he actually destroyed me. And he didn't actually pissed off, just rubbing in my face.
I did, yeah. I had a pit stop gap. Gotcha, didn't I? That was funny. Good times.
It's not funny. I was trying so hard.
This has looked pretty smooth. She's not looked any... I don't think she's even pushing, to be honest. I don't know. Usually when she's pushing, she can... You can tell she's just sort of... But it doesn't look like she's using the entirety of the track. She's just cruising, I reckon. Maybe still getting the tyres up, so maybe this will be the hot lap. We'll see how it is as a banker. It's a 1:34.6 as a banker. It's pretty bloody handy.
Does she do like a Vettel and just do one lap and go in the garage?
I think a 34.6 would be pretty safe up there in P1, so she could do that, but I don't know. I think she'll be out here to show off, I reckon. She'll be having another crack.
Yeah, she's definitely looking at going a little harder now.
Yeah, pushing the limits of the track a little harder now. The tyres obviously take 2 or 3 laps to really get going, so...
Well, our current gap down to Pinata is 2.045 seconds.
Pinata, a race winner and a Pro-Am series winner in Split Red last. He's no slouch whatsoever. He's a very quick boy. So to be 2 seconds clear of that man, and then a full 3 seconds clear of anyone else, that's pretty nutty for a banker.
Well, I mean, not only is he a quick driver, but he also has one of the best looking cars on this grid, in my opinion.
You like these Neapolitan liveries?
Oh, I love the Neapolitan liveries.
I reckon they've got them right with the matte strawberry. I think that's what really gets it for me. They really do look like they've nailed the creamy confectionery colours. If they were chrome or glossy or something, it'd just be a sham. But they've absolutely nailed it with these matte pinks. I reckon you're right, Alex. They have nailed them.
Did you just say matte pinks or matte pigs?
Well played. I didn't mean that, but I'll take it. Little dad joke for you. Matte pink nada.
There we go. But doesn't look like Paquita was able to improve on that lap, so she'll be going again on this one and most likely the next one as well. But looks like Salty Rod's managed to get himself up into P2, 1.1 seconds off, and Vignala's improved slightly, but not enough. With,
that's a pretty good time from Salt Rod, just quite. He's up there with a 35.7-ish.
Yes.
Around about there. That's pretty handy.
That is very handy. Someone who else has a fairly handy time is Robert Renzel, Suma.
There he is.
Doesn't have a team name, unfortunately. Bit disappointing, but can't win them all.
Team Milk name. Team Milk name.
Also, we've gotten a safety car chance from Matt Powell for the reverse grid night race, about 9,000%. That sound fair?
It sounds fair to me. Yep, I'll pay that.
Fair enough. We just see our Wenzel coming around the final few corners now. That Aston Martin looks pretty well hooked up, or just a little wide on the exit of the final corner. But he does improve 1.5 seconds off of Paquita now into P3.
Who's this? Alpha Venturi Dark Mode. Interested to know the story behind that. What's he doing on track? He's yellow flagged in the pit lane. What's he doing?
He's not on track, but I think he may have. But I think it's because of the position he's in on the pit exit, like his pit box, that's caused some sort of weird.
It says he's on track though. It doesn't say he's in the pits. So I reckon maybe he's pulled out.
Yeah,
of his pit box.
well, when we went on board with him, he was definitely in his pit box.
Weird. More Kuno stings. Love it.
Oh,
Shazrin improves. Nice little lap there from Shazrin.
Pulls it up. Pretty happy. He's pretty happy with that one. Currently the lead AM class driver.
Lee Perkins, OOR favourite in the Nissan.
Another driver that loves their Nissan. He's been in the Nissan pretty much every season that I can remember him being in OOR.
Legend and stalwart of OOR. In all the support races, just quietly goes about his business. Always pretty quick. Oh, lots of inputs there on the wheel as he wrestles around that low traction corner.
He improves 34.525, so only 1.265 seconds. down to Salterod, so I don't know whether that's just a bit of frustration from Makita or where she just wasn't pushing as hard, but either way, that is a nice effort from Salterod to be within 1.2 seconds of,
Yeah, agreed.
I was just about to mention that as well, so if I was 1.2 seconds behind Makita, I'd be cheering.
Yeah, because like even when I was racing last season in pro class, like I was fairly happy to be at times just within a second of Makita. That's how fast she was.
I've got another Macca fact. If before this session start, if you cut down a cactus in Arizona, Arizona, I was right, you'll be penalised up to 25 years in jail. It is similar to cutting down a protected tree species.
Interesting.
Cactus.
Yeah, cacti.
Cacti.
Have they got enough? Have they not got enough cactus there in Arizona? They got to protect them.
Must be
I'm
a special
guessing it's
variant.
because I'm guessing it's because it has something to do with the fact that Arizona is probably known for them because there's nothing in Arizona.
Yeah, but that's like Australia's known for its kangaroos. We still cut them down and eat them and stuff.
Yeah, but because we have too many of them.
Hmm.
And
Can
I
you
mean,
eat cactus if you do cut it down? If you're going to do it as like the forbidden apple and Adam and Eve type stuff, you're going to cut it down, slice it up. Can you put it in your salad? Does cactus taste any good? Does anyone know if you can eat cactus?
I reckon you could. Well, there's a lot of water. There's a lot of water in them. So
I don't know what the Octane Online Racing account's going on about. There's absolutely nothing in Arizona. There's just a few cities like Phoenix and Flagstaff, but that's about it. Nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. Don't know what you're talking about.
that's
There's
right.
probably
Octane,
going
I'll
to
do some
be
looking.
there's probably going to be an NBA title out there shortly. I'd suggest they're pretty strong favourites this season. Looking very nice are the Phoenix Suns.
Oh, definitely. I mean, they don't have Josh Giddey on there. I mean, that's most of the reason why I started getting into the NBA this season, but fair enough.
Yeah, we love Josh Giddey. There's a
I mean,
couple
we
of
can't
Australian
ask for too
sportsmen.
much more from Oklahoma City. They're a bit,
They're a bit nothing, aren't they?
yeah, just...
But they
I mean,
have every draft pick under the sun over the next 6-7 years or something, so they've got every opportunity to build something.
They're trying to build a dynasty like similar to what the Lakers had almost. You'd reckon.
Or Golden
Do they
State.
build it? Do they build it around Giddey, or is Giddey the number 2 and they find a big gun?
Oh, there's probably a few that they could build it around because like they have some.
Is Gilgis Alexander that number 1, or is, as I said, do they hire in someone and make Giddey the number 2? And yeah, I don't know. Interested to see how that goes.
Well, I
But yeah,
mean,
we do
Giddey
love
would
Josh
have to
Giddey.
be one of the main ones that they build it around because he's been one of the best rookies in NBA this season.
They are a very young squad though in Oklahoma, so they're only going to get better. I suppose a good example is oh, we're off and racing. I think no, we're not. I lied. No. I was looking the wrong way.
Calm down, Jesse.
I got excited. Okay, I was ready.
If you're that bloody excited, you can call the start of race 2. Get ready for that. That'll be all you when we come around these final corners. You're going to take us away.
I will say, not as dark as I thought it would be. It's still quite bright for
what the hell?
a 10 PM start.
It's 10 o'clock.
It was pretty light for 10 o'clock when I had.
So is that because the Netherlands is, northern hemisphere and all the way up there? I don't know if it's like Aurora Borealis or some crap where they get the sun going down.
Aurora Borealis?
In this part of the kitchen, something. Yeah, you knew where I was going.
At this time of year, at this time of day, in this part of the country, localized entirely within your kitchen.
Yes.
May I see it?
May I see it?
Am I showing my age by not knowing that?
Well played. What do you mean showing your age? Alex is younger than you are.
Yeah,
oh shit.
But for reference, I'm only 16.
Yeah, if you haven't watched The Simpsons in your lifetime, what are you doing? You're raising your kids wrong, that's for sure.
I knew Simpsons, but I can't remember that to save me life.
Ah, it's an absolute classic, that scene.
It is brilliant. The classic steamed hams.
Ah, classic. I know that bit. It's probably the same episode, isn't it? Surely.
Yeah.
I actually watched the episode tonight of when Burns and Homer they do go up the mountain and they cheat and then they get snowed in.
Ah, fun.
All right, so it's going to be Brad Robinson, P12 last race. He will lead us way down to turn 1. He'll have the Professor hounding him down in P2. Matterford, Reynolds, Nipperus out the top 5. Cook, Boats, Houlihan 6, 7 and 8. And then you'll have Jackson, D, Hunter, Jones and Bakita. Whoa, wouldn't like having that group behind me. Good luck to the front runners as they come around the last couple of corners now, but it's going to be Jesse McLean who takes us down into turn 1. And get ready for a safety car, chat. Here it comes. I don't want to see F's in chat. I want to see SC in chat when it's ready. Let's go, Jesse.
Righto, here they come around to the final corner. So I'm actually quite anticipated for this one, so it shall be very, very spicy, I reckon, coming into this first turn. Here they come, slowly down, getting ready. Nerves sitting in there, waiting, ready to go. Just waiting for that widget to get us going.
Green light, go, go, go.
And off they go.
Oh,
They're
God.
off and racing. Oh no, it's already happened already. Oh no.
4 meters maximum. What the hell was that?
What the hell?
That is a new record.
That
That is a new record. Don't
I have
make
a
it
feeling
12
that
meters.
I have a feeling that's just beaten the 12 fucking meters we had from Imola.
Put your 12 fucking meters back in the bag. We have gone 3 meters.
What the hell?
I've seen some things in my days, and that's one of the worst of them.
There it is.
Don't worry about 12 fucking meters. That's about 40 centimeters.
Yeah.
Oh my lord! I saw out to Tim and Michael. I just couldn't believe what I saw.
I was just as shocked. Like, how has that taken shape in a matter of a second?
That was that kicked off early, didn't it? Things really escalated here. That good old meme with Anchorman.
Yeah.
Glad I threw that one to Jesse. Jesse got to commentate no more than 13.6 seconds before we had a safety car, so you can call the start of races whenever you like. You've got the gift.
Oh, I've been given the JC gift, haven't I? Just for starts.
Get stuffed. It's not my gift. No, anytime I call anything, it's all clean. Good work, split yellow, cost myself milk, all this kind of crap. Get in there, son. You got them 3 meters down the road before they all spun into each other. What the hell just
I'm too scared to watch the replay back. Anyway, I picked up my keyboard now, my mouse, I'm back. Good luck. Hopefully it's just as chaotic as that. By the way, you have to pay everyone milk.
Yep. Yeah, the milk's coming because there was no safety car. So, yeah, the milk's coming.
Well, we've got a very
Have to
interesting
pay up.
order now. So we've got the top 10 of Ashland Reynolds, Brad Robertson, he's managed to stay out of trouble. Matt Niferus, Jaco Boats, Brad Cook, Matterford, Houlihan, Jackson, Hunter, and Bakita.
Yeah, so
Wow.
The Professor's unfortunately been a part of that, and he's dropped down to P13.
I would not be surprised if more than half the field has damaged.
Yeah, I think the safety car probably coming in this lap, so they're all bunched up, they're all single file. So it's probably going to be Ashland Reynolds, who's done very nicely for himself, as you said, dodged all the drama. Up here in P1, looks like he's holding them up, but he's crossed the finish line now, so if he's going to go, he's got to do it. And I don't think he is, so it looks like we're going to do one more lap under safety car.
Looks like we've got a virtual safety car tonight. But yeah, we've got just something to note. Our race winner from the last race, Emily Jones, down in last. But look at this pit lane. It is
a lot of damage.
Stacked.
It's a lot of damage.
Now that's a lot of damage. Gonna need a bit of flex tape for that one, that's for sure.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I didn't want to throw the memes out there.
Well, I mean, we already have with steamed hams. Might as well go all out with them.
Oh, she's a super dream meme team in here now. Don't worry about that.
Oh yeah.
So this
Wow.
one more lap under safety car gives everyone in the pits a chance, at least. to sort of maybe get that damage fixed up and maybe catch up to the back of the field. There's a couple who have popped out after some quick repairs. But there's still a very significant portion of the grid in the pits. A couple of them crawling out now.
I think we've just got to spend some time to breathe after that one. Oh yeah, we've had Shazza and Redza in chat, who is currently what, P23 in the pits. Has had to repair some damage and has managed to gather up some time to type in chat. Very comedy. So yes, that just goes to show how crazy of a start that was. Because like we still have drivers in the pits.
So Emily Jones, obviously winner of last race, started P12, so she's down in P18. She's lost out a few. Robertson did nicely. He managed to dodge most of it. He's still up there in P2 after starting P1. We're going to go one more lap under safety car. It's a good call. Yeah, just give everyone a chance in the pits to catch up. We'll have a 20-minute crack at this one. So here we go. Show us the replay. We saw what happened. Just glory in drama. Look, it just kicked up. As soon as whoever that was, P4 just pulled out. That was, yeah. Ugh.
Oh no.
I think it was Matterford in the Aston just getting a bit excited.
I'd hate to comment, but I think that's worse than Mugello 2020 and the big start pile up at Spa 1998 or something, 1999 or something, where they had that big start pile up where it was just everyone was going into the wall. But that was just a mess. Basically kicked off right away. Half of them couldn't even see what was going on.
There is no good angles of this. This is all pain and suffering.
You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Stay in your friggin' lane. You've ruined your race. You've ruined everyone else's friggin' race. Just stay in your lane. Even if you get a good start.
Wow.
The bloke
Robert
next to you gets
Wenzel
off
got out of the
slowly,
way of all that pretty well.
Just tuck in. How hard is it? Goodness me. Not pointing fingers at anyone in particular here. Just can't believe that sort of stuff happens. We all love it. We love the drama. We love the action. Chatland gets around it, but that is horrible to see. If that happened in real life, we would be devastated and disgusted. And I'm feeling a little bit sick as we continue to watch all the angles of this one. And it's just ugly, ugly scenes. Imagine the dollar value of the damage repairs if that happened in real life. Millions.
Yeah,
Millions?
it'll be.
How much are these cars worth? They're probably worth.
They'd be worth a lot considering how many there are, and yeah, a lot of damage there would be very, very devastating for real life teams. That's for sure.
Matterford looks like he survived most of it, so he was P3, now P6. Reynolds was P4, he's done the best of them. Here he is up in P1. He managed to dodge it, come out on front, on top of the mountain. Nice work, the nut.
We're racing at Zandvoort, not Bathurst.
Well, yes, thank you.
I mean, there's not really many
mountain.
mountains in the Netherlands. It's fairly flat all throughout the country. And anyways, we just...
So this will be it. Jesse McLean, take us away. 2 from 2. You wouldn't do it. Let's do it.
We'll see how we go. Reynolds really taking their time here. I reckon run as long as you can before you get off in the safety car, because that straight is going to gobble you up if you're not careful.
Holds it. Holds it.
Oh, off he
Holds
goes.
it.
Off he goes. He's going. He's off and racing. Looks like everyone's going to keep it pretty clean. Oh, I thought Nipris was going to get adventurous there, but he kept onto it. Houlihan again, nice move on the inside there.
Peter had a look there on what was that? Matterford.
What an experienced, classy driver she is. She knows that turn 2B is not where you want to get it done.
she's
So,
having a look through here though.
that's
This
a bit
is
of
going to be
patience.
tight. And oh well, Matterford's
Well, I
back
thought
down.
it was going to be, but she managed to get it done, and Hunter snuck through as well.
Does Matterford have some damage maybe?
Well, he probably was a part of that incident. He was still up there in the top 6, so he obviously didn't pit for damage, so you might be right. Maybe he's just carrying a bit.
Where's
That's
the
better split yellow. That's better.
much better, although there's a yellow flag at the back. Someone that's going off track there. Can't tell which number that is, but it's definitely a number back there. Yeah, just see Ryan Houlihan behind Brad Cook, or Cook just runs a little bit wide. Makita's right in this as well, so
Yeah,
Houlihan's
Makita got the
be
better
careful.
run. I think Houlihan had to let off a little bit because Cook hit the sand. So that cost Houlihan, but Makita didn't. So is she going to go up the inside here
Oh,
with the
she's having a look.
The Porsche
And
under
she's gonna
brakes
do it.
so strong, and yeah, she does. Nice work.
God, that looked easy.
I think, oh yeah, Houlihan's a bit damaged on that front end, so that probably wasn't helping his charge against Makita. He's already fallen a fair way back with Dan Hunter right behind.
Here's a question. Where's Bakita going to end up here at the end of this race?
He won
Oh,
at this
he's
rate.
just now.
P2.
Oh, very dark on the inside.
Look at her go. She's making a move every 3 corners. At this rate, she will literally win this by 30 seconds.
Yeah, she's seeing red at this point after what happened in race 1, and I think her just managing to avoid most of the carnage on the start of this one has helped her a lot in this race. It's right behind Robertson. Robertson's holding up well with currently a Nissan 1-2 of Reynolds and Nippers. Oh, that's a bit wide from Robertson. That's going to open the door for Boats. He just has to let off a bit. That's going to open the door for, you guessed it, Philippa Bakita. But not quite enough. That McLaren just getting a bit of a better run onto the straight, and Boats is up the inside of Robertson. Oh, that was close between Bakita and Robertson there. Just had to really anchor down on the brakes there. Did Bakita with Cook right behind, having to keep an eye on what's been going on, but Robertson seems to be struggling a touch at the moment, holding these pros up.
This is where her patience will be key here. Although she is the quickest, just needs to be patient. Now she's got the pace, just needs to keep it relaxed.
She's going to dive up the
Not
inside
doing
here
any of that.
and then gets it
Not
done.
on.
So
Start your patience. She's got the moves. In absolute control of that car. And just finding places to make overtakes on a track known for having one line. The quality of that driving.
Cook going to have a look here.
Oh, that'd be a send if he did do it. He didn't.
Hunt's gotten past Houlihan.
Yeah, Houlihan carrying a stack of damage. I'd be surprised if he gives up too many more spots. Matterford copying the ire of the stewards for that lap 1 collision, so he gets a stop go 20.
Further back, that was quite the move further back. Hold on. I think that was Nick. Was that Nick Miller? Yes. Oh, look at this battle here between Salterod, Gorowski, and Miller. I think Miller doesn't quite have straight line speed and compared to the two Mercedes, and it's like Gorowski's trying to go around the outside of Salterod, and Miller fights back but can't quite get up the inside of turn 1. So going through 2A and 2B, the order is Salterod, Gorowski, and Miller for that battle.
Just quietly, Megan D's got up to P16 as well from P24. Slowly climbing up the order.
Yeah, just making her way up slowly. I've got just Linton Wills, who I reckon made a mistake a little earlier, and is just now in front of Nick Miller. As we jump now to battle between Matterford and Pinata. Matterford will need to come in soon to serve that stop-go 20. A big penalty, but if he was the one that started the drama at turn 1, that is, even before turn 1, that is understandable.
Emily Jones up to P12, Megan D's now behind her at P13. Both making moves up here at the moment.
Philippa sets fast slap and Matterford is in for his stop
up
go.
in the P3. That's amazing.
We are halfway through.
Right
Keep
now
pushing.
has Nippers and Reynolds to try and chase down. She's only a second and a half behind Nippers, but Nippers won't let her through very easily. It's pretty quick. Know where to plonk that Nissan. The Nissan has a big wide bum. I don't envy that task. She's got 2 Nissans to pass. Ashton 3 seconds clear out the front. So she's got work to do now, but imagine that. I'd say we're only 15 minutes in, but we're actually really only 5 minutes in.
Oh, who was that?
Wide Houlihan.
That's Houlihan. Houlihan really struggling with that damage.
Oh
So
yeah.
Ben posted in the chat, he was asking the question.
And we have a 5-second penalty for Mod Shazza and Redza for being out of position on lap 1. I mean, most cars were out of position after about 10 meters. But yeah, it's just still got to keep an eye on those little things, even if there is a lot of action on the start.
We've got a live example, really, of the answer to your question there, Diabols, in that you've asked, you know, what sort of timing do you stay out and you hold the damage and see what you can do? Well, Houlihan's showing us now what you do if you've got the damage. You hold out the track position and try your best. And look, he's in P11, so that's not too shabby considering.
Well, I mean, it
We've
really
got
depends
other cars
on.
who have pitted.
Yeah, it really depends on how much damage you do have and where you have the damage. Because, like, for example, like if it was like 10 seconds worth of damage, I'd probably stay out, because for me, for most cars, that's reasonable. You can handle that for the most part. But it all depends on where you have it. If you have it like on the rear of the car, that's going to really unsettle the rear, and it's almost worth at that stage to come in.
Who's got all the damage here? Can we have a look at Suma's car? Can we have a look at someone's got as we go past, there's a meatball flag. See the meatball flag? So I don't know if it's Suma's car. He looks pretty tidy, but someone is being waved a meatball flag around here somewhere, and I don't know who it would be. Houlihan's in the area. I think it might be Houlihan. So Houlihan's damage is that bad that he's got a meatball flag. I think that's what I'm saying. We're certainly having a. He looks all sort of. He does. There it is. That's the meatball flag.
So I reckon he's had another off somewhere and is really struggling now. So he'll have to come in to get that repaired within the next few laps.
So you say have to. What is the meatball flag? I understand that it's this.
Okay, so the meatball flag essentially signals to you, okay, you have a lot of damage on your car and it's getting to a point where it's unsafe. You must come into the pits soon, within the next like 3 laps or so, to get that fixed, or else your car will most likely, or else you'll most likely be disqualified for driving a car that is not safe in the current condition.
And so you say they have to come into the pits. Is that the game's going to disqualify him if he doesn't pit within 3 laps type thing? Because he's staying out there at the moment. So is it up to him, or is the game going to disqualify him, or will our stewards knock on his door and say, hey, listen?
No, okay, so the game will disqualify him if he does not come in. It's the black and orange, like the meatball flag, means you must come into the pits.
Octane Online Racing just confirmed that black and orange must pit. I think you got 3 laps to do so.
Yeah, and whenever you do get the meatball flag, the game will tell you and have a reminder on your screen signaling to you, yes, you must come in.
There you go. Tell you what, he's going bloody quick for someone with a big
Oh,
Oh, flag!
good
I
one.
said he was going quick, but he's not anymore. He's out there in the dust.
Yeah, he'll definitely want to come in.
He
He's
is
struggling.
really struggling with that car.
You could say that paddle pop is melting.
Also, it's 10:24 and it's still quite bright out there. Like, the sun is setting and it's 10:24. That just makes no sense.
Sort of glad it's not actually dark, just quietly. This track doesn't look like it's well lit, so it's already tricky enough. I'm trying to go around the dark. Here we go. We're going to get a little view of... Yeah, it's... she's not happy, that Mercedes. She's looking sick. She's looking sorry. She's a bit sore. Hooly dooly Houlihan. You'll have to come into the pits, I think, mate.
Oh yeah, that's loose. That is.
He's not doing it.
Goosey.
He's not doing it. He's hanging in there.
Oh, I just don't think it's worth him staying out. He's not going to get much out of it.
I mean, if he hangs on to sort of P12, 13, 14, 15-ish, not a bad result, really, considering.
Oh, okay. So turns out he didn't have his lights on, so that's probably why he got the meatball flag.
Ah.
So we were in the transition between the not having to have the light on and having to have the lights on. So okay, so it doesn't have to do with his damage, but I mean that damage is still heavily affecting it. I mean, with 10 minutes to go, if you don't have the meatball flag, you almost just have to try and stay out and hold as many
This
positions.
is Emily
as you can.
Jones getting one done on Matt Pinata. Nicely done. Held the inside line through there, got the traction down. Pinata went a little bit wide, got on the sand. Emily makes up another spot, so nicely done. She's having a really good night. Obviously race winner last race. And she's a couple of positions here too to be up there in P7, so she's looking to enjoy a nice little suitcase for the points tonight.
Yeah, after going right to the back of the field at the end of lap 1, she's having a really good race. Someone else is having a good race is Phil Nikita. She's almost into P1, right behind Ashlyn Reynolds.
What can Ashlyn do here with that big white missing bump? Can he plonk it in all the right places? Can he hold her off for 8 minutes? My bet is no.
I reckon Nissan is probably one of the best cars to use defensively against another car. Is just how wide it is and how good the straight line speed of it can be.
Feels like the whole bloody track. Look at it.
Like, if you're able to get the car positioned well enough and hold just enough speed, you should be able to hold position in that Nissan if you just have that speed. Like, it doesn't have to be a massive speed disadvantage, like probably a few tenths per second, but like Makita is right there, but we'll see what happens.
He's one of our quickest and most experienced drivers is Ashlyn Reynolds, so I don't expect this to be easy whatsoever. Did very nicely to plonk himself in the middle of the track there, and Makita found no way through. For 7 minutes he's got to try and just put that car in all the right places, and as I said, he's been doing this for a fairly long time here in OOR, so I wouldn't be surprised if he does. But Makita won't make it easy on him, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's
Already
going
moving
very
across the
defensive,
line.
but he's doing a good job so far.
But yeah,
So
you're
get
not wrong,
back
Makita all over the back of it. Sorry, Jesse.
Yeah, sorry, if you had to make a comparison, Makita versus Reynolds right now, what kind of comparison could you put, say, driver-wise?
Perez versus Hamilton at Abu Dhabi.
Alonso versus Hamilton at
Hungary?
Is that where it was? Where Ocon
Yes, Hungary.
Yeah.
Helping out Ocon to win the race there. This time it's for the lead, so... I mean, it could also be a little bit of, Reynolds has run wide there.
That'll be it. I'll tell you what, he's got the inside line for the next one though. He'd want to be good under brakes here. Oh, was there a touch there?
Yeah, there was.
They were side by side, and Ashland hangs on. So
I don't think there was too much in that.
Agreed.
So I think that'll just be play on from there, but even like Leclerc versus Hamilton at Silverstone last year, that was sort of like this, where you have very fast driver in a very quick car versus a quick driver in a car that's probably not as quick. Oh, Bakita's just run wide there. That's going to kill her exit onto this straight. So Reynolds holds on for another lap. We've got 5 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Can Reynolds hold on?
Christ, we're in for a good time if we get this for the next 5.5 minutes. Loving watching this.
It's always fun when you have a nice close battle for the lead. And even further back, you've got a battle for P3 between Matt Niferous and Jaco Boats. Look at how close Bakita is, basically riding that rear wing of that Nissan.
P6 and P7 also having a battle at the moment as well.
Yeah,
Actually, with P5 actually.
so many battles throughout the course of this race. Like throughout the top 10. Oh, Bakita takes so much curve there, almost loses it, but holds on. Well, she's having a look up the inside, but Reynolds smartly holds onto that as Mod Shaz and Redzer gets another 5-second penalty, this time for causing a collision on lap 11.
Yeah, he's racking them up tonight, Chazrin.
Yeah, we've got two drivers with 20 seconds worth of penalties. Bianchini gets a 5-second for causing a collision on lap 11 as well. Oh, that's close. Yeah, she's really riding that rear wing, getting as close as possible as she can. Reynolds is going to need to defend here, but we still got 4 minutes to go. Anything can happen in this race.
That Nissan power down the straight, as long as he gets that last corner basically correct, he just gives her no chance into turn one. Nissan power just pulling him away. It's got to be done under braking for Philippa, but she just can't find anywhere to do it. She's really hoping, as I said, for a Reynolds mistake, and he's pretty clean and pretty consistent. We've only seen the one small mistake from him, and it did invite her in, but couldn't quite get it done. So 3.5 minutes to go. Can he hang on?
At what point does desperation sit in for you? Oh,
There's desperation.
Jeez, I didn't get the word out, jeez. As soon
Down
as
the
I say a word.
But Reynolds holds the inside for the left-hander.
You're just talking about desperation there, Jesse, and right then and there, Bakita goes for the move up the inside, but can't make it stick. Reynolds is really fighting for this one. We'll have probably 2 laps after this. Oh, this is going to be fantastic to the end.
So we talk about the quality of Bakita's driving all the time. When she's out there in front, she's 10 seconds clear, and oh, look how smooth she is, and she's on another level in terms of her pace. But I reckon this is where she stands out as a quality driver, because now she's got moves to do, and she's got to find different lines, she's got to find different angles to come at it, and she does. She's made up 13, 14 bloody spots to get to this point, and she made them look easy. And now you're getting a really good battle happening here between her and Reynolds. And as I said, Reynolds not slow by any means whatsoever. Very quick, very consistent, and she's putting him under all sorts of pressure. That is quality driving. 2 minutes to go, Ashland. 2 minutes to go, Philippa. Loving this battle. Keep it going. Virtus 7 in chat. He loves his Nissan. He's very happy watching this battle. He is absolutely behind Reynolds here. He's got his bias cap on. He loves his Nissan. He's enjoying watching this.
Oh, it's always nice when you see Nissan up the front. As Reynolds runs a little wide, gives Bakita a chance around the outside. Can Reynolds hold on up the inside? And they touch again.
They did get contact there. They both managed to keep it going straight. And I tell you what, Philippa now on the inside down here. She's probably going to get it done here, I think. The Porsche underbrake's pretty good. Nissan's going to come and try with the switchback, but there's no room there, and that'll be it.
Bakita's done it.
The job done. So there was contact there. The stewards will have a look at it, of course.
I don't think there was anything doing there. Bakita was on the outside. I reckon Rails just ran maybe just a touch wide, so...
Yeah, look, I'm not one to judge. Certainly not sitting here with my steward hat on tonight. They were side by side, and I probably agree with you. Probably a racing incident, but as I said, the stewards will have a look, and they'll let us know in a minute or so whether that was as clean as they'd like it to be. But for now, it is Bakita, P1, making her way through, I think, 13, 14 spots on Zandvoort. Classy display. This will be the final lap. She'll probably come across in P1. Another masterclass for you here tonight, YouTube. Have a look at that.
Just fantastic racing, that one. And Bakita fighting her way from P13 up into P1 after a very disappointing disconnect in the first race. She is absolutely stormed through the field and has to be the driver of this race. She was brilliant. Also, special mention of Emily Curran. She's P6 fighting for P5 after getting caught out by that lap 1 incident. So she's had a really solid time in this one. Especially after a win in the first race. She's right behind Brad Cook, but don't think she's going to get anything over him, unfortunately.
Yeah, as long as Brad keeps it nice and smooth through this final sector, he'll hang on to that one.
Big and D finding Pignata as well. So like a double wire as well.
Philippa Bakita, hats off, hand claps, YouTube chat, get around her. P1, very nice result. Reynolds unlucky not to hang on there. P2, still a very good result. Matt Nipris, he's very happy with his podium. Look at him go. Celebrating the fireworks as he crosses the checkered flag. Jacko, P4. Cookie hangs on for P5, and Jones comes home in P6. As I said, nice race from her. Hunter and Pignata come across 7 and 8. Megan D, P9, and Suma rounds out the top 10. Here's Salty Rod with a run on Robertson, but probably not going to get it done. But that's a very close battle up to the line there between those two. Salty Rod with 20 seconds is going to drop back a very significant handful of positions. So Houlihan will grab P13. Gabrielle puts here and the Velocity Regatta Squadra entry round the final turner. Keeps his foot in it on the grass. And he'll come home across the line in P17, but probably grab 16 after the penalties are handed out. Shazran, another one with a big stack of penalties. Paul Kranich currently in P20 will grab a couple. Matterford involved in turn 1. Well, I say turn 1. Jesus Christ, I didn't even make it past the pit lane.
Yeah, it was more start-finish line than anything. But that was just one crazy race from the...
Kidman wins points for his team name here. Hit Organismo. I like that.
That's a very nice name from Tom.
There's well played, good sir. Love it.
So absolutely treated to 20 minutes of overtakes there. That's why we love our reverse grid races. We get to see the best of OOR's best demonstrate their wares. And did we ever see that tonight? Bakita, goodness me, what a display. Fastest sectors, fastest laps, stayed out of trouble, kept the nose clean, got all the moves done, comes home in P1, Philippa Bakita. This is qualifying we're looking at. So I'd be interested to see who came home second. We know it was Reynolds. There he is there. And Niparis P3. In the Pro-Ams, it'll be Niparis in P1. And Suma picks up a Pro-Am podium in P2 with Robertson P3. And Warren, Laputz, and Shazran hangs on for P3 even with his penalties. Nice work to those lads in the AM class. Nice work, split yellow. Very eventful night for us. And now we're looking forward to split green, where the notoriety precedes it. Alex Bowen, thank you very much for your efforts tonight.
Thank you for having me. That was just crazy race.
You say that every week when we leave. When you leave us, I reckon you're the luckiest commentator in the booth because you get to watch Split Yellow, and that's the one where it all kicks off. So you say that you kick us off every week. I reckon. Love that from you.
Split Yellow never disappoints. There's always some form of action in Split Yellow, and tonight was something else. It was crazy, especially that second race. Watching Makita fight through the field and that interesting start of 1.2 meters. But anyways, we'll skip past that, and I'll leave you for Split Green now.
Love you, Alex. Nice work, mate. We'll catch you next week.
Cheers, boys. See ya.
See you, Alex.
And as we bid farewell to Alex, we welcome a debutante to the booth. Chat, YouTube, everyone else around, say hello to Ollie Daniel. How are you, mate? Crickets. Man's got his push-to-talk button on.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I hope he's got his push-to-talk on.
It's all right. He'll figure that out. He'll come and join us soon. Ollie Daniel joining us on debut tonight. Looking forward to hearing from him. You've got Jamie Conboy on the mic, as well as Jesse McLean. But it looks like Ollie's got himself sorted. How are you, mate?
I'm good. Cheers, fellas. Yeah, always the classic push to talk.
Yeah, we've all been there, mate. No, don't worry about that. Plenty of those little things will creep in. Good way to start. How are you? Have you raced with OOR before? What's your story?
Yep.
You like ACC? You do F1? What are you about?
Yeah, I've been racing with OOR for over a year now. Done all the special events, rookies. Then went to sprint racing, and I'm sort of moving house at the moment, so don't have my rig, but keen to stay involved.
Good man. Love that. So you're not racing at the moment, as you said. So what did you say? You've moved house, and you've got the rig all pulled to bits. So
yeah, well, I moved in with my partner at the moment. She's just finishing up her lease, and then we're moving again. So not getting it all set up until we move again. Don't think it's worth it. Don't really have the rig here either. Which is a shame.
Moving out with the missus. Congratulations, like that. So where are you from? In Victoria, South Australia, Tasmania? Whereabouts are you?
I'm in Sydney, right in town, in the heart of it.
Ooh.
Spicy.
Yeah.
So is that a you got an apartment in there or something, or?
Yeah, we're in Ultimo in a little apartment. So looking to move around sort of in a west way. Close and easy for work. Became a bit lazy through COVID, just moving the 2 meters from my bed to my desk in the mornings, and so being nice to the office now we're back in the office is it's the way to go.
Speaking of the office, how do you pay the bills? What do you get up to?
I work in tenant advisory, so.
Sorry, try that one again.
I work in tenant advisory, so
advisory.
Yeah, so I represent companies in negotiating their leases for office space.
Nice. I'll tell you what, that's an interesting little space.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit like real estate. You'd obviously have to have your ticket in real estate to sort of be able to give that sort of advice.
Yeah, it's like if you think a real estate agent represents the landlord, I represent the tenant. To make sure all these dodgy real estate agents aren't, doing all the tricks.
Pulling the wool over them. Like that.
Exactly.
We need more people like you. I'm going to come and see you before I buy my next house, that's for sure.
I can't help you with a house, but I can help you with an office.
Of course, commercial. Yeah. Nice. Well, welcome to the booth. Good luck tonight. As we said, Split Green, notorious for its action. So you've joined in at the right time. Best of luck to you tonight. Glad to have you on board. Very nice to hear new voices in the booth.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the warm welcome.
Jesse McLean, with a minute to go, how are we going here? Who's got the best time? Tell us about it.
I'm going to get this wrong, but Jake came with the fastest with a 1:34.6 with Duong not far behind. I'm just trying to see the times. Oh, no, we've got a full screen. 0.0, I think 3 hundredths of a second. Oh, we got a man round in the Audi.
That's Duong. You've
Mr. Duong
straight off the road.
Yeah.
Why do you do this? Just
I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, you missed out, Ollie. Buddy was calling the race because I got excited before race 2. So not even 1.2 meters, there was a crash.
Ollie, did you see the start? Did you see the start of Split Yellow race 2? Ollie, did you see it or not?
I didn't see the start. I was watching the cricket, but I did catch Pip's chase down at the end, which was awesome.
Christ almighty, do yourself a favour and watch the start of race 2 in split yellow when you get a chance, because it'll go down in the history books of OOR as a new record for the quickest safety car. I would reckon.
Was it a bit of a Hungary 2021 10-pin bowling incident?
Yeah, a little bit like that, except
Yeah,
they made it to turn 1. So yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Make of that what you will.
Yeah, so probably all the same. Magello probably be the better one for it.
Yeah, right.
So just while we're wrapping up qualifying here, you two get to know each other. I have to depart for 37 seconds. I will return.
Cool. Jesse, you racing in the Sprint Series?
No, I'm not in the Sprint Series just yet. I'm in the rookies at the moment.
Nice.
I did race about probably, I'd say, better part of 8 months ago. Got a bit burnt out. I'd say trying out ACC, got a little bit frustrated. Just things weren't working, so I was like, I'll change some things up, get a new setup. Now we're back in rookies and looking to jump into sprints next season.
Yeah, nice. What were you driving something like F1 or something before you hopped on ACC?
Well, I was actually racing OOR's F1 series.
Yeah,
So
nice.
I was with actually Mr. Dan Hunter in a Ferrari in Tier 3, if I believe correctly.
Yeah.
So we just kept it all together. So I tried to do it and I just got burnt out, and I was like, I'll try come back again.
Yeah,
Mr.
interestingly, the F1 games is how I got into sim racing, and then the second I stepped out of F1 games, I haven't gone back.
Yeah, I'm feeling that now as well.
Yeah.
And
Whenever I go back to it, I just can't do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel that. Alright, so we got Jer Coman on pole position, followed by Duong, followed by Hermento, Steenkamp, Sonicus, Hignett, Gibbo. Love your work, Gibbo. Barker, Bartlett, and Weatherburn, Mr. Yoda himself.
Oh, speaking of Weatherburns, where's Mitch Weatherburn? Where is he? He's not here. What's going on? Hang on a second. I don't think he'd be in the bottom half of the field. He would be in the top 24. So on debut, I wanted to see him battling his brother, and I can't see him anywhere. That's a shame.
There was chatter in the Kovacs chat that if the Weatherburns got together, older brother Jake would not give him any room. So, brother things.
Oh, they'll be looking to battle. Mitch will be out for redemption after I cost him a good position in the bloody endurance race at Imola. He will be looking to battle. So he's not here at the moment though, unfortunately. He's in DMs. He's having internet issues. No! He lives out in the middle of nowhere apparently because his internet's always letting him down. I'd hate to see that. I wanted to see how Mitch Weatherburn went on debut, but he's probably going to miss out on this one unless he reconnects. He'll start from the back of the field. We'll see how he goes.
Well, I can tell you one thing for certain. If I was racing in the same race as my brother, I would be headhunting. That's for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I'd be the same.
I'd be glad my brothers don't race this because I would be very, very aggressive.
Yeah, definitely. He'd know that as well. There'd be no way I'd be giving him the easy pass.
Yeah, the other two brothers, they can stick to Destiny and World of Warcraft. Thank you very much. I'll stick to my racing.
Tell you what, we give him a rap every week. Barker's up there in P8 again. How the hell is he still AM class? I know we're not sort of throwing people around because there's no finals, but bloody hell, look at him go up there in the AM class. P8 again. Every week he does this. He plonks himself up there and he stands out like a sore thumb with his red bloody AM class badge. Loving that from you, Barker. P8 tonight. Nice work.
See you, Craig, in chat. Thanks very much. Hope to have my rig set up for the next special event, but I'm not sure yet if I will.
Oh, there goes the safety car. Didn't know there was a safety car in this one.
Rather race special event. That sounds very dangerous. There'd be some domestic issues there.
That's a great idea. Anyone in chat, if you're out there in Chatland and you have a sibling, do they race? Have we got enough to create a bit of an OOR sibling race or something similar? Even if it's a stepbrother or a very, very close relative, maybe a cousin or something. If we've got enough relatives to make that happen, that sounds like a great idea.
Well, there's plenty of Weatherburns, what I'm seeing from Diabols, so that'd make up part of it. I'd definitely get a bit pushy with the older brother, see if we could actually give it a crack.
Tell you what we need to do in that space is get Samwise Holmes in with his bloody tandem rig. One brother drives the pedals, one brother drives the steering wheel, and you've got to try and make it around in one piece.
What track would you do it on though?
Something wide with plenty of runoff, like Paul Ricard. So there's...
I was going to say, chuck him in Bathurst.
Or F1 Monaco.
Oh, thank you, we started.
Oh, well spotted by Tark, by the way. Tark's in chat and he said, this is a friggin' Jaguar. We've put the Maserati away for the night. We've got safety car Jag. Hello.
Not often you see the Jag on tracks.
Well, we had the Jag all last season, and the Jag, we had it all last season. That was the safety car of choice. But this season, it has been the Maserati, but we've benched the Maserati tonight. And very, very sharp observation from Tarks. He's pointed out we're in the Jag tonight. Nice work. Love that. Very nice. Yeah.
I tell you what, I like the Jag better than the Maserati.
No, get out. No.
He was not. He's not nice to me last night. So
I love the Jag. Getting repairs. This JC drove. Yeah, that's fair enough. That is totally fair.
Up to no good as always.
Oh, that's a wide line there from the safety car. Hang on. That shows you that it's not an AI driving that. We've got a real person in there, and they've taken a wide line. Ollie Daniel, welcome to Split Green. Take us away in race 1.
All right, just coming around the final corner, approaching the start-finish line, looking very tight. A little bit of a gap between that second and fourth. That'll tighten up. That Bentley sitting in fifth is right on his tail. Here they go, getting ready to cross the start-finish line.
Green light, go, go, go.
All right, green flag, away we go. Audi on the outside. Is he going to take it? Lexus looking on the inside. Oof. And is it Glaucoman stays in front? Very good. This very tight. That Mercedes is getting close. Couple frame rate issues on my Discord stream.
So you get used to it. It's all good.
If you've got the YouTube stream open, which you probably need to do, make sure you've got it turned down to the very minimal 144p setting, and that will help improve the frame rate in Discord.
All right, will do. Noted. Thank you.
Noted. Yeah.
Right, yeah, nice work from Split Green here. Another tidy start in race 1. Split Yellow did the same thing. They disappointed us with no safety cars. Everyone's got around nice and clean. The Jag stays in the pits, and a very nice start, Split Yellow. Single file all the way around, perfect. Noted. Yes, thank you. Thank you, race control. So, as you said, Giacomin leading us away. Duong, Stenkamp, and Hermanco doing nicely up there. 1, 2, 3, 4. As the safety car starts to drop back through the field now, Barker in P5 has made up a spot on lap 1.
Real in the McLaren having a look around the outside. A lot of McLarens in this race, I noticed. Or in this split in general, in the entry list.
Yeah, well spotted. Very popular car, but very dense in this split for sure, the McLaren contingent.
Yeah. Taking a lot of the curb on that final corner, or the second last corner. I find you can though. Curbs on this track, or at least those fast corners, are quite forgiving. There are definitely a couple corners sort of mid-track that are not so forgiving. Big sausages.
They're going to Sonicus past Barker. Sonicus being the winner of the endurance race over the weekend with his brother Jean-Pierre.
Very tight field at the moment, only a couple gaps greater than a second. Good to see, good to see.
They're looking very racy at the moment.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Was that contact? Yeah.
There's a couple that are just dancing around, looking interested in other... Oh, that's around there from McLaren. He has to make a bit of a correction. The other one sneaks through. I think that was Baldwin getting past Matrillo. Yeah, a couple of cars just looking pretty pacey, looking pretty interested, and a couple others just nice and steady. So I know we've had a couple of clean minutes here, but I would expect this to... There it goes. There it goes. Oh, it keeps him on the straight and narrow. He gave him a boot, turned him around, and then he gave him another tap and kept him going straight. So good teamwork there. Everyone carries on, but there's corrections and stuff happening all together here. Tell you what, it's about to start kicking off. As I said, we've had a clean couple of minutes, but they're starting to get spicy now. Oh, it's getting all sorts of messy now. Come on, keep it straight. They have. Oh, I was very lucky. That could have been what we saw in race 2 on the straight there. We had, no, it was race 1 where they came around the last corner and got messed up, but they keep it going straight for now.
Looks good going into turn 1 there, 2 by 2. There's that McLaren and a Mercedes having a fight there. Good battle. McLaren just gets ahead. Very clean. I think that on the lap before, the yellow Bentley, little snap of oversteer for the black and orange McLaren to lift off the throttle a little bit and let the McLaren behind through. Some good liveries in this. I quite like that Audi.
You missed out the Neapolitan Mercedes in the last week, got it?
Yeah.
JC concur.
Yeah, can confirm. There's a couple of ice creams in here too. Sanderson, car 88, will be in a paddle pop livery tonight, as well as Zach James, car 57. There'll be a couple of paddle pops out there as well. But yeah, you're not wrong. Duong's Aldi Audi, nice little setup. I'll tell you what, these Lexus liveries look good every week, don't they? Bog standard.
Are they ever going to bring something?
Jean-Pierre going a little wide on that last corner, dropping tyres onto the grass, but seemed to make it out alive.
Yeah, we hope they'll let us spruce up the Lexus at some point, but it's not this season. No changes allowed. Out the back of Steenkamp here, Manto under all sorts of pressure from Senecas. Tell you what, it's a fair bit of a gap that's developed now between Chacomon and Duong, who have torn away up the front, and Steenkamp here. Steenkamp just a little bit of a cork in the bottle a bit. He's dropped off the back of the top two, and Manto, Senecas, Barker, they're all there. Hignett as well.
Manto with a bit of a slide there. I thought JP might have got away with it, but he's sitting behind. As we said, he's got to find a mistake here. Just stick in the mirrors, get him nervous. Surely he'll be able to get something.
10-second penalty for Nick Miller, causing a collision on lap 2. First penalty of the race. So, not too bad. Oh, there's another one. Jumping the start, car 47. Who's car 47?
Yeah, jumping the start, that's an interesting one. It's not quite speeding. It's got a little trigger happy and went a little quickly. Barker going a little wide there in turn 1. Hignett having a little look up the inside. Quite enough room there. In turn 2, that inside curb, super deadly. If you haven't come around here yet, that's the one you've got to watch out for. Hit that once, and you fly off into the Netherlands space program.
2B or not 2B, that is the question.
Oh, nice. Yes, it is cool. It is 2B, the corner. Barker getting all sorts of attention here from Hignett. Hignett all over that inside curb. The Bentley enjoys curbs more than, I'd say, any other car. Maybe the Aston rivals it. But no stress, no fuss jumping those curbs. Car 46 now getting a 10-second penalty for jumping the start as well. That might be why we couldn't see 47. Maybe there's a duplicate entry out there. I thought I saw 46 before on the map.
46 before, yeah.
Oh, yeah, liveries. Quite similar to the one I entered in Bathurst a couple of weeks ago, before our unfortunate retirement.
So what do you drive, Ollie? What's your normal ride? What do you prefer? What's your favourite? What's your least favourite? What are you usually about?
I quite like the Bentley. I've driven the, quite sort of cliche, but driven the Bentley and the McLaren. Weaving there going into turn 1, Bentley, but McLaren manages to hold them off. Yeah, Bentley and McLaren entered the rookies this year, did a couple races in the Ferrari, which I actually hadn't driven before, but I really liked it. It was good. Quite different to everyone else, but I sometimes struggle a little bit with the McLaren.
No, I feel that. I feel like it's like any other car, just lap time, just put time on the track. Find that set up that you find comfortable and extract the most speed out of it.
Yeah, it can feel quite. I think we entered into the Paul Ricard last year, and I remember
Higner to the inside.
Wheel to wheel going around
bit
there.
of touch there, a little bit of contact. Barker probably not going to give this one up easily down the inside. He's got the line, and if he gets the traction down here, he does. He holds on. Hignett putting a lot of pressure on him. And this is benefiting Gibbo. Gibbo watching very patiently behind here. There he is, just sneaking along nicely. Gibbo not really under much pressure from Bartlett behind by the look of it, so he's just patiently coming along here, waiting for something to kick off between Hignett and Barker, who, it must be said, have done pretty well so far to have some clean battles. As someone dives into the pits there, it looked like Steenkamp diving into the pits there, so I wonder what's happened to him. He was up there in P3, and now into the pits in a race that doesn't require a mandatory pit stop, so clearly having an issue there of some kind. In he goes. So that promotes Fernando to P3 and Senecas to P4. Sorry, Jesse.
Oh, I was just wondering, yeah, why did he go in? He must have collected something.
Yeah, slotted nicely into that sort of 3-second gap behind Reels, so that train of cars has just gotten a little bit longer, which is good to see. Oh no, he's dropped down now.
Tasty T coming in, letting us know from the land of Kovacs that Steenkamp's gone out there in quali fuel. We've all done that before. We've all got the setup ready for quali, and we haven't put in enough fuel for the race. We've all done that.
Notice there's a few different lines coming into turn 3. People sort of, taking sort of a wider exit on turn 2 and making their entry into turn 3 smaller, whereas some taking turn 2 a little bit slower and really getting over to the outside for turn 3, opening up that entrance, which is good. Good to see some different techniques.
What is the optimal line around turn 3? Do you go a little bit wider and carry the speed through, or do you just tuck her in nicely?
Well, I'm certainly not the fastest driver in the book, but I would suggest there's no overtaking opportunity between 2 and 3. So there's no reason to go slowly through 2 and try and open up 3. You might as well carry all the pace through 2. And then you can compromise turn 3 because it's such a cambered corner. You just throw it in there and there's no overtaking opportunity there, especially on the outside. There's no grip. So as they come up to turn 2B here, I take this pretty much flat. There might be some cars that really benefit from a higher line through turn 3. We did see Philippa in the Porsche on her quali runs taking a high line through turn 3. So there may be something to it. As I said, I'm certainly not the be-all and end-all in terms of, but that's, as I said, just the way I handle it. Just tuck it in, get it done.
It's pretty incredible seeing the F1 cars go around that corner last year, the way they sort of run so wide and it slingshots them out the other end. If you're as inconsistent as I am, then you inadvertently try both methods.
This man's got a drive-through. How the hell has he picked up a drive-through? Not sure what's happened there to Sandeezy. He's going to have to take a little drive through the pits, which will promote Mark Bushell to P12. The hamster of all hamsters will love that. If he can hang on to P12, clock himself on pole for race 2.
Shout out the hamster though, back in the seed chat earlier. He also is appreciate that. Appreciate a little bit of love.
Drive through for bad rejoin. Chat has made us aware. Thank you.
Noted TM Racing. Love that from you, Alex. Embracing the noted. So Jacoman looking very nice out the front here. We just saw him go by, hold a 2-second advantage to Duong. And Duong and Hamanto up there in the top 3. Senekis right behind Hamanto. He'll be looking to jump up on the podium. He'll be getting used to the podium by this stage. Plenty of race wins and podiums under his belt now. Jean-Pierre.
Pretty big gap opened up between P2 and P3.
Yeah, those two have stormed away with it up the front, haven't they?
Yeah, other than into turn 1, I don't really think that they've been battling, so they've flown away with it. Jake Graham with a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Unlucky. Oh, big snap of oversteer. Maybe a little too much curb on exit for the Nissan GTR there.
So does this invite Harding in? Does Harding get a crack here? No, Lexus Power. No, it's a Nissan, same thing. Nissan Power, up the straight, drives away.
We are at the halfway mark.
Can't help but love that Nissan.
He's not missing anything.
Nice, nice.
Sorry, I had to throw it in there.
And right on his tail.
Mitch Weatherburn's back in chat. He's hopefully in this nicer for him next week. I hope too. Hope as well, Mitch.
Put the friggin' milk away. Send the milk to me. I'll look after it for you.
You owe people a lot of, I know, a lot of coffees, not milk.
Stock up on your friggin' internet, Mitch. We want to see you racing, mate. So, fix your bloody net. Yeah, exactly. No, there's no such thing as stocking up on, or not stocking up on milk. There's no such thing as too much milk.
I love a glass of milk.
Speaking of milk, what's your favourite sort of milk? Holly Daniel?
Oh, just
there
just
is a
light.
correct answer here.
Nothing too creamy. Just
Any particular brand of iced coffee that you prefer?
Oh, I am an addict of Dare iced coffee, but I'm aware of how unhealthy it is, so I try and steer away.
Good man. No, don't try. Don't even try and steer it. Is there
I have one in my fridge right now.
Is there one that you really like? The one that you really want to get around? The particular Dare?
Well, I'm not going to settle for anything other than less than a double espresso.
Nice. Yes. Yep. Correct
If I'm
answer
feeling
again.
particularly raunchy, I'll go for the triple.
I can see we've got a long and prosperous friendship forming here, Ollie Daniel. Loving your work there. So yeah, I'm all about the triple espresso, and it has to be in the smaller 500ml variety because anything bigger and it dilutes the coffee. There's too much of a milk to coffee ratio. So
You got it all figured out.
the triple espresso 500ml for me is my go-to. Yeah, there's a bit of a debate raging at the moment. Do you prefer the Dare, or are you with our great and noble leader, Craig Dale, all over it? Is it Farmers Union for you? So
Yes.
if you're in Team Dare, love that from you. But it is Dare or Team Farmers Union, and you've answered correctly in my book.
It'll have to be Dare. It's got to be Dare.
Again,
31.
I'm not impartial to a Farmers Union. Nothing wrong with those, but no, Dare wins the day for me.
31% of people voted very high chance of a safety car for race 1. Hasn't happened yet. Still got time though. People really pushing the exit of that second last corner.
But that was a poll we stuck up for the race 1 split yellow, and there was no safety car in race 1 split yellow. But no, you're right, there's been no safety car in this one either. And we don't see safety cars generally unless there's a giant car park at Bathurst type scenario. So I don't think we'll see a safety car here in the last 12 minutes. But I wouldn't be surprised if we're about to get another poll, which is why that one's finished. We might be just having one typed up as we speak. While that happens, we've kept an eye on this Hignett and Barker battle for a little while. But it's...
Preferred brand of iced coffee, not the poll we were expecting, but a good one nonetheless.
It's definitely the one I was expecting. As soon as I saw the other one finish up and I knew the topic we were on, I figured it was coming. So get your votes in.
Could I throw a spinner in the works?
You can vote for some other crap.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
water.
don't drink any iced coffee at all. Nothing at all.
Well,
I don't even drink coffee.
Really?
Probably-
How do you function without
yeah,
coffee?
what? Yeah,
What?
what?
Just standard water, mate. That's all you need. If you need coffee, something's wrong.
If I didn't have coffee, I'd be having breakfast beers.
Oh, the old breakfast beer. Yeah, that or a bit of orange juice in the morning. Get you pepped up.
Yeah. If you're functioning without coffee, there's something wrong with it. I don't know how you do that. No way. No thanks.
Neil says bye, Jesse.
Sorry, Neil. It was good. It was good now on your soul.
What's a send there from Danny Lynn? Danny Lynn trying to get something down there on Sicanius, but not quite getting it finished. And now under pressure from Chris Withers. In a bit of a Mercedes sandwich there with McLaren pieces of bread. I tell you what, Withers, he looked interested there, but Danny Lynn closes the door. And Withers will have to get into the slipstream of the Mercedes and hope he can get up there for turn one, but I don't think he's going to have enough pace. So Danny Lynn hangs on for now.
Pretty brave to look up the inside of turn 14, if you ask me. If he did, that could have been our safety car.
Yeah, we had one. We had a move like that in race 2 Split Yellow, where around that last corner, there was a couple of cars that sort of got crossed up, and one speared off into the wall, and then it sort of kicked off behind them. So
That Audi livery is great. I do like that.
So Jacoman very nicely up there in P1. He's pulled his own little gap now to Duong. He's flying away with this one. 6 seconds clear. Duong 8 seconds clear of Hamanto. Seneca's putting all sorts of pressure on Hamanto still. And then we're back here to this battle between Barker and Hignett, who have been going at it for a while now.
Barker he's holding on. He's holding well. Especially since the Bentley is a very superior car around here.
Yeah, it is very strong. He'll be carrying 30 kilos of ballast here tonight, if I'm not mistaken. But the McLaren no slouch either. It's got 20 kilos whacked on.
Oh, he's having a look around. Oh, almost had a look around the outside of turn 3 there. I think the second you have a look around the outside and take the wide angle, as you can see here, he's lost quite a bit of time to the car ahead.
Jumping back through the field here, that's Velasquez up behind Withers. Withers, we were watching battle with Lynn and Sicanius before. That's a couple of wide lines there through turn 3. A couple using the outside banking. Right, they stay tucked in. So Zachary James leads this pack in his paddle pop livery, followed by Sicanius, Lynn, Withers and Velasquez. That's car 712 Matrillo grabbing himself a 10-second penalty. So there goes his chances of popping himself into P12.
Is Barker the only AM in this? Or am I just seeing things?
He's the only AM racing tonight, I believe. No, actually, I think you might be right. If I recall, he does usually hold the AM class win. I can't quite remember if there's other AMs that aren't participating, but you can see Adriel Sia there in P24. He debuted in Suzuka a couple of weeks ago, and Velasquez as well, debuted pretty recently, so those guys will find themselves in either AM or Pro-Am pretty shortly. So Mark Bushell currently looking very nice in P14, but with those penalties in front of him, he'll grab P12 if it stays as it is. Zachary Baldwin and Zachary James, bit of Zachary on Zachary action there in 15 and 16. They'll be looking to close in on Mark Bushell as well and see if they can sniff around in his mirrors for the last couple of minutes and maybe pinch P12.
Might throw in a Zach attack, if you might say.
For all the coffee,
getting out of control.
for all the coffee lovers, what are your thoughts on tiramisu? Should coffee be in sweets? Yes. Yes, they should. Tiramisu
I'll
is
agree with
amazing.
that.
What do you mean? You don't even drink coffee, you're not part
Oh
of
man,
this.
I've
Get
had
out.
coffee sweets before. It's not. Jeez. Man can
Tiramisu.
experiment.
Yeah, tiramisu is amazing. Great call from you, Diabols. Well, great question. Answer the question yourself, Diabols. Your thoughts? Not even sure if you drink coffee, if you're just providing us with all the good questions.
Don't ruin it, says Octane. Don't ruin it.
Yeah, no, I'm all about coffee sweets, coffee ice cream, coffee milkshake. Bring it on, man. I'll take it. Tell you what, that to say, that's Denny Lynn. He drove past Sakanias there. Nice work. I thought he was going to have to battle around the outside, but he managed to get it all completed before they got to the corner. So, nice work from Denny. He grabs himself a spot from Sakanias, who moves back to P17.
What's happened to Barker? Might I add?
Yeah, he has dropped off a little bit. I tell you what, so 471 is Hignett, and he has picked up a 10-second penalty. So maybe that is why Barker's dropped back a few. Maybe we've been watching them battle for a fair while. Maybe Hignett just starting to not necessarily lose patience, but just had a crack at one, and maybe didn't get it right, which is why Barker's dropped back a few. So Gibbons cleans up there because he not only grabs Barker on track. Oh, I thought that was going to be a move there from Velasquez. Gibbons passes Barker on track due to the little incident, but he's also going to grab Hignett with those penalties. So Gibbo going to clean up very nicely there.
Yeah, running a little bit wide there in turn 3 from Withers. Almost left that door open. That Ferrari's quite nice to drive around Zandvoort. Oh, almost
that was close.
that. Very close. Oh, big correction there. Keeps it on track. Good stuff.
Yeah, loving how close this whole pack is, really. These guys have all been very close for a while now. Zachary James, the cork in the bottle here. Denny Lynn, having already made a move on Sakanias, will be looking to get one done on him, but he's not going to get it there with that very wide exit of turn 12. But yeah, these guys all within sort of 2 seconds of each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ducks in a line there. Chris Withers has looked pretty pacey. He's in and around it. He wants to get some moves done too, but just can't quite find a way past anyone. And he got pretty wide there at the exit of turn 1. But nice and smooth. So Hignett 10 seconds, Harding 10 seconds, Matrillo 20 seconds. Fowler and Sanderson also holding some points. There's Denny Lynn. We've already seen him make one move on Sakanias. Now with 3 minutes to go, can he get this done on Ogold? Ogold, a very good defender, very quick. Hasn't quite been as pacey as I thought he would be this season, Ogold. Maybe just not quite getting his head around the McLaren. Probably not putting in a great deal of practice either. He's a very quick man across multiple disciplines. He's of course just recently won the Tier 1 F1 Championship with OOR. So still celebrating that victory. Nice work from him. Obviously participates in a lot of iRacing events as well, so probably not putting in the hours and getting his head around that McLaren. So it's usually pretty high up in the standings, down here in P16 at the moment. So Denny Lynn sniffing around now. Sakanias on board with him at the moment. We're finished. What's your question?
Question in the chat: strawberry, chocolate, or lime milk?
Lime of milk. That's
I've
not a
never-
thing, is it?
It surely
Lime
is.
milk is definitely a thing, absolutely.
I've
Very
got to
nice.
investigate that. I love good lime. Good lime.
Yeah, lime
Yeah,
milk.
but lime and
is-
milk doesn't sound like a combination that should exist,
No,
in my opinion.
don't hate it until you've tried it, mate. It's very good. Oh, that's Denny. Oh, I thought that was a touch.
I'll pick strawberry just for the sake of it, but I'm a big banana milk fan as well.
think we could be in for a last lap little shuffle of positions with this pack here. They're getting very close.
Well, they're all fighting for P13, which is going to be P11 with all those penalties up there. So they all know, they can see the penalties in front of them. They all know that this position is very important. So that's what they're fighting for. So P14 is going to be P12. Actually, they're not. They're only fighting for P13. My apologies. Once those penalties are handed down, Zachary James, the best he's going to be able to do is P13. So it's going to be Zach Baldwin who jumps up at a P12 once it's all done. He seems to be a couple of seconds up the road. Yeah, we're going to have one more lap after this one. Yeah, I'm still loving this battle. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars. They're all very close, just dancing around behind each other.
So this could be where the desperation kicks in, just trying to get that last position, last extra bit of points.
The correct answer is chocolate milk. Lime milk, strawberry milk, both very good, but chocolate milk, standard. Just do what you know, do what you need. There's Chris Withers, up the inside. No, just had a look.
I'm going to throw banana milk into the equation. That stuff's
good
delicious.
Man. Yes, good man.
Luca Giacomin in the Barry Daig Racing entry, car 313. He will be the winner of race 1 in Split Green tonight. Nice work, Luca. Not his first race win this season. And with a race to go in Kyalami and a race to go tonight, probably not his last. We'll see how he goes next week. Ryan Duong in the Aldi Audi keeps his foot in it on the grass, gives the checkered flag a high five on his way through, and he comes home in P2.
How common is it to have a 12-second gap between P1 and 2?
Yeah, not necessarily uncommon. We see gaps form up the front. There's some very fast drivers here in OOR, that's for sure.
Definitely.
Hermanto and Senekis and whatnot, not slow at all, but that's just how quick those boys at the front have been all season. So Hermanto comes home in P3. Nice work for him. And I think it was Senekis in P4. Hignett comes across in P5, but probably drops a few positions with those penalties. Gibbo, Barker Bartlett, Real and Weatherburn all up there in the top 10. And around the finish line, these guys all come in the order that we watched them battle in, so nice work. Denilin getting a couple of moves done, but it's Zach James that beats him home. And Sakanius behind him with Withers and Velasquez finishing off their races in that order. So nice work, nice and clean, split green. Another car with no safety car. Another race with no safety car is what I think I tried to say before I had a stroke.
Not what I was expecting.
You wait till race 2, my friend.
Yeah,
All
well,
or nothing.
you called us away there in split green very nicely. Welcome to the booth, Ollie Daniel. You've done nicely, so there's no curse bone in your body just yet. But if race 2 in split yellow is anything to go by, when Jesse McLean takes us away for race 2 in split green, get ready and get your safety cars out. Stuff your F's in chat. That's what we want to see. Safety cars in race 2. But just for now, we do like clean, close battles, and that's what we got there out of split green. So nice work for those guys, especially the ones through sort of 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. They had some very nice tidy battles in there, so we love it. Nice work all.
A lot of blue and orange liveries, and for some reason it reminds me of Toy Story.
You're going to have to elaborate on that one. Why does blue and orange remind you of Toy Story?
The
I'm
cover.
I'm curious.
Instead of the Toy Story logo, it's more of a red, I suppose. Just having a look at it on Google now. I don't know. Whenever I see that,
enough.
I think it's Andy's bedroom as well. A lot of like the walls are blue, and then all the brown wood furniture. For some reason, every time I see it, a little flashback to my childhood, and I think of Toy Story.
Fair enough. Yep, I'll pay that.
Yeah.
What is your favourite colour?
Oh, not sure. Probably purple, actually. But I don't know how keen I am purple livery cars. So outside of racing, I'd have to go purple, but I'm not so sure on a racing car. I think I'm quite traditional when it comes to, well, traditional or boring, however you want to put it, when designing liveries in ACC.
Quick straw poll for chat. Chat, what's your favourite colour? Jan Tully, what's your favourite colour? Jason Gowers, what's your favourite colour? Diabols, what's your favourite colour? Just to see, there's going to be a couple of blues pop up here, probably a couple of reds.
This pink and blue is really nice, actually.
A few pinks. Yeah. Still don't know how I feel about coloured rims, but
I'll be specific. I'm a royal blue fan or a navy blue.
yeah, nice.
I think when it comes to blues, I prefer a lighter blue, like the colour of Anderson's rims here. I like the light blue.
I knew there was a reason I loved you, Jan. Green is my favourite colour as well. Well struck from you. Diabol's the blue, yeah. Blue's up there for me too. I'm not a massive fan of red. I don't hate red, but it's just not a colour I can find a place for in... Not that I'm a design graphics man, but if I ever do make like a birthday card or something, or a livery or something, it never really has red in it.
I'm actually beginning to notice the teams I support have a lot of red in them, but I don't like red.
Oh, the Bombers?
No, I'm a Swan. I'm a Swans man. Unfortunately.
Red can get in the bin just like Ferrari. Love that.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, thank you, Ben.
I think if you make quite a dark livery, especially with the black, and you have some red highlights on there, it looks sick.
Yeah, I can run with that. Oh, that's all right.
But I'm not sure about a full red car. I wouldn't go that far. But red highlights on a darker coloured, sort of using darker colour as the main colour, I think that looks really good.
Pink can get in the bin, says Jan. Alright.
No, I can't agree with that one. I used to think that. I used to think pink could get in the bin, but I've got two daughters and every time they design a livery for me, it comes out pink. So I've sort of learnt to love pink a little bit. There's a lot of pink going on in this house, that's for sure. We were speaking of Sydney before. Ollie, do you rugby or footy or I don't know it's probably rugby in Sydney, is it? You're sort of halfway between Queensland and Victoria. What do you do in Sydney?
I play rugby union for Balmain. So, yeah, I'm a big union fan.
What's the difference between union and league, you two? Tell me about it. I don't know.
Oh, it's good go for a while. Oi. Wait. They both have their...
Alright, well hang on. There's two sides of the story here, so one at a time. Tell me what's good about league, Jesse.
Oh. Well, I played both, so I have no issue with either. But I'd say league, I guess... With league, I don't enjoy the uncontested scrums, but I think just the way, I don't know, plays are run and that kind of stuff. Except it is getting a bit soft though. I'm not going to lie, I'm actually enjoying rugby more at the moment. But just I don't know, I grew up with rugby league, so I just always enjoyed it.
And what about you, Ollie? You've obviously got some pretty strong feelings about what's better and what's worse, so why is union better than league?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't mind league at all. I support the Sea Eagles near where I grew up, mainly.
Oh, don't do that to me.
Well,
I like you till now.
I haven't been doing too well the last few years, but I don't know, I struggle to watch league. The only league I watch would probably be the State of Origin. I agree with you, Jesse, the uncontested scrums seem like a bit of a waste of time, but also a little too stop and start. I think a flowing game of union is a little more entertaining. I'm watching the Six Nations at the moment and it's been awesome, although I'm English, and so if there's any Irish people out there, pretty unhappy with that result the other day. If there's any French people out there, even more unhappy with you.
Yeah, Craig, you are correct. Yeah, uni is played by private school educated and league by Bogans, so where's that put me then? Because I played both. And I'm also a Newcastle fan, Ollie, so...
Nice lap from Johan while we were talking. He's come across with a 35.9 and he's pinched P1 by a bee's dick from Sandeezy. So, again, I'm from Victoria, right? And I've only followed AFL and cricket and basketball. I don't know shit about rugby. What is, in a layman's terms, trying to explain to a Victorian the difference between league and union?
Or
League has like a 6 tackle set where rugby would have multiple phases in a way. Is phases? Yeah, they're called phases. And yeah, like so it's constantly. So unless there's a disruption in play in rugby, like it's just pretty much just free flowing. Whereas in obviously rugby league is very stop start. Once you get tackled, play the ball, get on with it.
yeah, if you played a game of touch, league similar to that in a sense. Like once you get tagged, everyone's back 10 and onto the next part. Whereas you have phases in rugby union, but going from one phase to another, play doesn't stop. So it's flowing.
Thank you, Dale. I am an educated bogan. I will take that.
There used to be a fair few rugby fans in chat. Yeah, as I said, I've never played it. I'm only sort of 5'11" and not many kilos, so never really got into the rugby.
Hey, that's alright. When I was playing rugby, I was a small fella and I was playing fullback. Didn't stop me.
I'm a big fella, and for some reason I'm a centre. I actually used to play AFL, Jamie, when I was younger, and I loved it. I think it's so much fun to play.
It is the greatest sport on the planet, that's for sure. It's another one that's been watered down by rules and whatnot over the last sort of 10, 15 years, and it's still the best game in the world. So, yeah, that's where my heart is for sure.
I think we've awakened the chat with this.
I'm
discussion.
glad. No, I'm glad there's a fair bit of rugby love out there because, as I said, I want to love it. As I said, massive sport fan myself. So I'd like to add another sport to my arsenal, just in terms of viewership. As I said, I wouldn't play it. I'm too old now. They'd probably break me in half, those boys out there. Jesus.
Nah, you'd be right, mate.
Nah, mate. Honest to God, I can hardly play golf anymore. And friggin' knees are gone, back's gone, the whole body's falling to bits. Andrew, I'll see you on screen, mate. He's debuting Suzuka a couple of weeks ago. I say a couple of weeks ago, it was 2 weeks ago, but it was only one round ago. We obviously had the week break last week. And goes 10th quickest so far. So I think he's on a hot lap here. This will be his last lap. Obviously the timer counting down now will go to 4 zeros. And we'll see everyone on track at the moment come across and see if their times can improve. So currently Steenkamp up there with a 35.7 perched on top. And we'll start from P13 if it stays as it is. Sandeezy is finished with his laps. He's 2/10 off the pace. So pretty handy with him up there in P3. George Fowler doing very nicely in there, 10th behind in P2. Velasquez, another one who has debuted recently, 3/10 back on board with Clinton Love now. As he comes around the final 2 corners, getting a lovely little toe there. If he gets it right, he will enjoy the suck a little bit. Let's see if that helps him improve enough to pinch P1. It does. And I tell you what, if that toe hasn't got him 52 thousandths of a second, then I will play what I reckon that is exactly what he's done. So can Steenkamp pinch it back as he comes around the last couple of corners?
Second there, I thought he was going for a dive into turn 1. Hit that braking zone just in time.
Let's see what this does for Johan. Oh, he does improve, but by not enough. So by 17 thousandths, Clinton Love takes P1 in super qualifying. So that'll start him from P13. Nice work, Clinton. Johan just not quite finding enough extra pace there on that last lap. He'll start P14. But if I'm not mistaken, and my memory serves me correctly, and those penalties were served, it'll be Mark Bushell starting from P1. One of our most generous men and has had an absolutely cracking season. Definitely one of his best. Another one who's been with OR for a long time and played plenty of good races. So loving seeing him start on pole here. Would love to see him get the win. He has said during the week he hasn't quite got the pace here, and he probably doesn't quite have the pace at Kyalami. He hasn't been looking forward to these 2 rounds after a really good season. But tell you what, really good opportunity here to bring home a big bag of points in race 2 for Split Green, which we will kick off in around about a minute.
On your comment earlier, Jamie, just while we're waiting, yes, rugby absolutely does break the body. I had training last night. I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning with a nosebleed, and my right foot didn't work properly. C'est la vie.
How old are you, Ollie?
23.
Yeah, you got a while to go before your body starts failing you.
Geez.
Use your friggin' body while you've got it, mate. Anyone in chat out there who's under the age of 26, use your body while you've got it, because it stops recovering and you'll miss it when it's gone.
I think rugby definitely speeds up the process.
Oh, mate, all sports do. Basketball's terrible for it. Basketball ruin your friggin' knees. Netball, same thing. Played a lot of mixed netball in my time. Just ruins your knees and your ankles, and yeah, no good.
I played some mixed netball a couple of years ago. That was good fun.
Mixed netball's great, and I won't hear any
Yeah.
arguments. It's not even an argument. Mixed netball is great. If you've got a missus or even a sister, or go find a team, mixed netball is a lot of fun.
I back that 100%.
I was always interested in playing it too. Just never couldn't find any way to get into it.
What's going here? Is that a... Oh, they're calling out the orders.
Yeah, so that's the safety car leading us away in the Jag. And that is Mark Bushell in his Nissan, who will lead us away off pole. And yeah, just calling through the reverse grid now. Oh, Jesse McLean, if you don't mind. Thank you very much, sir. League is the #1 sport in Australia. Don't at me.
Thought I'd stir up the hornet's nest a little here.
Yeah.
You've donated 50,
That's
so I'm not going to argue with you.
Good man.
That's fine. You can have that for now.
You already picked me in endurance on Saturday, so need a little bit of love.
So I'm getting some stern looks from my lovely wife, who's got work very early tomorrow, so I'm going to have to keep it down. I can't have as much excitement as I normally would, which is why Jesse McLean's going to take us away for race 2 here. As I said before, Ollie, you missed it. Race 2 for Split Yellow was an absolute highlight reel at the start, and it was all Jesse McLean's doing, so wait until he takes this one away.
Oh, jeez, he served me up here. I hope and pray it doesn't happen again, but I don't know. But we shall see. Going to be very interesting with these quick boys at the back here. Bushell, Harding, Yoda, Hignett, Real, Bartlett, Barker, Gibbons, Sonicus, Hemento, Duong. Which it's going to be very... Hopefully not the same thing happens as it did in Split Yellow, but you never know. Any predictions for the race win, boys, before we get this ball rolling?
Mark Bushell, pole to victory. Mark Bushell wins this race.
If it's anything like what I keep hearing about the yellow race 2, I think safety car is in for a victory.
Surely I can't beat 1.2 meters. Anyway, as they make their way around the bend to the second last corner, which I forget the name of. Kumo, and then heading to Ari Liendik. That's a butch and a half.
Good effort.
So come around the final bend, safety car's pulled away. Bushell to lead us into the first corner, hopefully. Just waiting for the lights to go green. Here we are. Waiting. Still waiting. And off we go, we're off and racing. Here we go. Bushel. Didn't I get the biggest jump, but he's going to have the inside for this run. Oh, we got Bartlett running around the outside, running wide. I think everyone's keeping it clean so far, as I can see. Well, there's a bit of contact. Oh, there we go. There's contact. I've
Is he
called
going to
it.
come back onto the track?
Yeah, oh, he might be. They might be. Yeah, it looks like it's been. Oh, safety car's been deployed. I've done it again. I've done it again. It lasted longer than one corner this time, but we're back.
That pink McLaren near the back, waving down the start-finish straight at the start, had me nervous. Was getting very close to the pit wall.
F in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Ah, of course you. Yeah, right. On your JC, thanks for the $51. AFL Superior Sport. Might be better language sport too, because I can't English that well.
Where are my rugby union fans in the chat? I feel very outnumbered.
That's right. I feel that. Safety car, safety car. Didn't miss you tonight, so I've got you every time so far, so 100% record.
Diebols can get in the bin. In the bin with Ferrari. Diebols, your bin is surely full.
It's a good call. He bins a lot of things. He's binned his Haas a couple of times this season in the F1 series, so he can jump in the bin and it'll be bloody full by the time he gets there.
Oh, here we go. We're seeing the race start again here. It's a bit spicy. Oh, it's 4 wide into turn 1. That's not ideal. Oh, no. Just coming out.
No. So that was not the incident that we saw on screen.
Yeah, that's a safety car is what that is. That's pretty ugly.
Definitely.
As you said, glad we made it to turn 1. So this is up into turn 2. There's a little boot there. And it was Jacob who copped it, so he went out wide.
Diebold's getting very cranky. I finished every race this season.
So it looks like it's Bartlett who gave Real a bit of a boot. Sorry, not Jacob. So Jacob got away up there, I think. But yeah, a couple of cars involved at turn 1, and then a couple more at turn 2. So good call by our lovely stewards to bring out the Jag.
Just a question while we follow him around. Ollie.
The answer is Tess.
All of the above for me. I'm a big cricket fan.
I enjoy good cricket. I reckon. I'm a test or a T20. I don't know. The 50 over stuff just.
Yeah, probably less so 50s, but Big Bash is awesome.
It's definitely live in the sport. We'll admit that.
I agree with both of you there. I think the 50s is probably a dying art. It's either 20s or tests, and tests are superior. There's no cricket I would watch. If you gave me the best T20 teams in the world, I don't even care, or Australia versus even like South Africa or England, and it doesn't matter who. If you gave me a test match, I'd watch that every day of the week.
Can somebody in chat update me on whether or not Australia have bowled out Pakistan yet?
I'll work on that right now.
The correct answer is no. Pakistan are 390 for 4. Baba is currently on 196.
Looking like it'll be a draw then.
Yep, looks like it's gonna. T20 is garbage tier cricket. Thank you, race control. Noted.
Noted.
T20s are okay. I like the Big Bash, especially to go and watch live. I probably don't watch many games like on KO or on the tally or whatever. I might watch the finals. But it's a good little family day, with fireworks and whatnot. So it's good. Yeah, it's good to go watch the T20s. I like them. And yeah, Ben makes a good point. Like tests are really good to watch as long as you're not playing in Pakistan on these flat road wickets that they've built to shut down our bowlers, which they're entitled to do, but yeah, not very exciting to watch. So safety car has pulled away. Safety car will tuck into the pit lane and wait patiently. He won't go into the pit lane because he'll be eagerly anticipating this restart. And it'll be Bushel who gets us underway. And Harding will chase him down to turn 1. And they both gapped Weatherburn a little bit there. We might have caught napping, and I tell you what, there's a couple other cars that were interested as well. So a couple of... Whoa, that's very deep.
Very low.
A manages to pull it up nicely, but it compromises his exit a little bit, and that is Jacoman, who's going to surely not send it down turn 2. There he goes, he hits the curb, but he knew that was a death curb, and you could see how hard he got on the brakes. He didn't want to end his race there, and probably his own go. So nice driving. Heads up there from Lucas Jacoman. Very easy to sort of say, hey, look, I've got the run on you here, and I'm up alongside, so therefore this position in this corner is mine by rights. But no, Luca did the right thing there and said, I'd rather continue on in this race with no damage, so pulled out of that one in turn 2B.
Jason Gower's question, yeah, car is pretty good. It's got supercars, F1, Stan Sport as well is pretty good. It's got IndyCar and Formula E now, I believe, is on Stan Sport.
It's got freaking everything has Stan Sport. If you are a motorsport fan, get into bloody Stan Sport. It's got everything. GTs and all the Australian leagues and some dirt bikes and everything.
Love me dirt bikes, it's good to watch.
Did I see like the Race of Champions and stuff on there as well?
I'm not sure.
I think I did, or at least like a, you know, little summary piece on.
But yeah, KO's pretty good for most sports, like Australia mainly, but it's pretty good. Yeah, I'd say KO's owned by Foxtel, as Craig has just noted.
Oh, I know we're watching a pretty handy little reverse grid race here, but Australia have just taken their 5th wicket, and I believe, judging on the hands-on heads round, it is Babar who has just fallen for less than 200. Probably on 197 or 198 just before he got to his 200. He's been given out by Aleem Dar, so off he goes.
I got 196, he must be knackered.
He's been out there for 6.5 days. He's had a great effort.
6.5 days of a 5-day test.
Yeah, it would have felt like it.
Yeah, definitely.
But back to the action. Tamanto looks like he's going to go around the outside of Senecas. Senecas, I tell you what, he's not going to give that up very easy, and he does not. Gets the traction, and that invites Duong here around the outside. Look how close all of these drivers are. Hamanto, Duong, Jacome, and Senecas. That is Duong who's gone around. But he manages to keep it going straight. He got a little tap boot bump there from a few people, and pinballed around and keeps it going straight.
Jacome hurt by that one as well. He's back down to P12. Not ideal for him.
This is Hignett. Hignett chasing Weatherburn in the Spin Kings entry. Weatherburn going down the inside there, leaving no room for error. But does it nicely. Comes out of turn 1 pretty sharply.
Was it me, or did he look like he took quite a defensive line there into turn 1?
Yeah, agreed. Yep, he was leaving nothing to chance. He didn't want Hignett even showing his nose up there. And yeah, he's spot on. Well observed by you. He was very defensive, which I thought would have compromised him out of turn 1, but he managed to pick it up pretty well and get down to turn 2 with no issues.
Car 56 with a 10-second penalty for collision on lap 1.
That's Velasquez getting a little whack there. The steward's obviously still poring over that incident that created the safety car. There'll be plenty more penalties to come from that one yet. Oh, it's a chest.
Oh, Bushel very wide in that corner this time.
This is
Weatherburn
up the inside here of Harding. Harding does well, gives him the room, and Weatherburn gets it done. So Yoda
One with the
up into
force
P2. And I'll tell you what, Hignett there as well now. He's going to have to go around the outside here. But the McLaren's brake performance is not great, so Hignett, I think, is going to get that done. He does, and Harding drops down 2 positions in the space of 2 corners. So
It was a bit squirrely come out of that corner as well.
got swallowed up there a little bit. Now, this will be interesting. Jacob Weatherburn, having recently joined the Kovacs stable, chasing down Mark Bushel. And if you know anything about the Kovacs boys, they love to hit each other. So
Kovacs action.
A bit of Kovacs on Kovacs action. Tell you what, Weatherburn wants it already. He's going down the inside of Bushel, and I tell you what, Bushel's done well to leave the door open enough to avoid collisions there. And Weatherburn, Yoda picks up P1 into the lead. He goes. Bushel tucks in behind him. He won't like that. He won't let him get the wall. That's a boot. Harding up behind Hignett there. He's in a little kiss on the bum. Surprise those.
Lots of room there on the inside going into turn 1.
Hardy is struggling at the back there. Yeah, got very squirrely out of that.
Well, there's yellow flags. There's yellow flags back there at turn 3.
Oh, Lexus on the grass.
And around goes Hamanto, I think, there as well. So a couple just starting to fall off track a little bit, which is to be expected. Look how close this top 10 is. Even right down to P11 there. It's no more than a second gap anywhere there. So they're all in the train. And as they start to get comfortable with each other and they get a little handle on this dark track, they're starting to open up a little bit, get the elbows out.
Cut 46 with a infraction on that 10-second penalty.
Gary's on for a hat trick.
Oh,
He is too. Yeah, 6 for now, the Packies. All right, hello. Let's go. Stuff the draw. Australia in for a win here.
Lexus getting very cozy up behind that McLaren there.
Who's that
what's
out
happened
there?
there?
That's Bishop out there, if I'm not mistaken. So all McLarens, look at that. Zach James, Zach Baldwin, Bishop, Zach, Saganius, Withers, Matrillo. 6 McLarens all in a line. If it weren't for Clinton Love, there'd be 7. Jacoman there as well. With that many McLarens on track, they're bound to murder each other at some point. So, yeah, I think we saw Matrillo fall back through the pack a little bit.
Cut through
That's great.
10-second penalty. That's Jacoman. Not ideal. Well, Bushel's made a mistake. He's down to P5. Barker up to P2, might I add.
They're looking very racy.
Yeah, Bushel's had a moment somewhere here because he was sitting P2. He's had a moment somewhere.
Yeah, you're not wrong about Duong. He's fighting for the championship lead at the moment with Jacoman. So, with Jacoman having a 10-second penalty and a couple of positions back, this is a chance for Duong to close the gap between him and Jacoman up the top of the standings at the moment. So if he can get one done here on Bushel, he'll close the gap to Steenkamp. He's very quick in this Audi. He's looked very good this season. So let's see how he goes here down in the turn 1. Steenkamp, Bushel goes defensive, holds the inside line, does it nicely, defends well there. So not this lap for you, Mr. Duong. He's certainly applying plenty of pressure. So around about halfway through the race now. Have you changed your mind on who's going to win this one? I'll tell you what, Jacob Weatherburn, after his excellent move down in turn 1, has stormed away. He's already 4 seconds clear, so my money goes to Jacob Weatherburn at the moment. Is there anyone else you reckon you've got your eyes on up there that can possibly pinch this one with 16 minutes to go?
So let's Duong get around Bushel and just start pushing hard. I don't know. I think Weatherburn's got it from him. Just keeps it consistent. He's always done set for wrong. He's alright. But Barker in second there. I don't think he'll have the pace of Weatherburn, but very tidy in second there.
Duong's pushing very hard. I think his race is either going to go very well or very badly.
He's done it well there. He had to go around the outside of 11 and then stuck it through 12. Tell you what, he got a boot there from Bushel too in the braking zone. Bushel, not sure if Bushel missed his braking marker or he just brakes deeper than Duong there, but that's compromised him, and now looks like Hignett's going to get him as well, although missing power down the straight. Says no, moves across to the inside and hangs on to that one for now. So Bushel putting in some good defensive driving here, but just getting done by a couple of quicker drivers. Jacob getting in turn 1. and Duong. Both of those very, very fast boys, Jacob and Duong especially.
Do we reckon Duong's noticed that G. Cummins have a bit of a rough run, just trying to get a bit more desperate, just trying to pour as many points as he can?
So, I don't know if he uses the full, like you can press tab, so obviously while you're in the car and you can see what's going on across the whole leaderboard. But if he doesn't use that button, if he doesn't use tab and sees the whole, we've got 2x2 here, this looks to be Gibbons under pressure from the man in, just speaking about him, Jacome, and he looks like he's going to get this done because he's got the inside line now down in turn 11. He does, gets it done before that. Nice work there. Gibbo gives that one up. And now under pressure from Peach. Gibbo also joined the Kovac stable recently, and Peach obviously long-time member of that team, so a bit more Kovacs on Kovacs action yet to occur here, I think.
Gia Conan's definitely on damage limitation at the moment, doing quite well, climbed up to 8th position, still has that penalty, but seems very committed to pushing forward.
Back to your question. Back to your question, Jesse. I think Duong would be aware of the situation. I think he'd know Jacoman's behind him. He'd had a quick look. He knows he's got a 10-second penalty, and yeah, he'd be aware of it. And he'd be looking to make up, as I said, a few positions if he can, but he's got to get past Johan Steenkamp, who's certainly no slouch, so yeah, we'll see how he goes. Sorry, Ollie, you had a question?
Well, I was just going to say, Diabols is a good question. How do you cope if you get a couple love taps from behind? Do you stress out or drive harder? For me personally, I stress out, which makes me drive harder, then I drive too hard and I bin it. So it works for a while.
Yeah, I feel that as well.
Right, okay. Next time I race you two, I'll know what to do. Just give it a little tap up the bum once you've tried to sell off the road. If I get tapped up the bum, I've already won. If I'm driving well and I'm keeping it on line and you can't find a way past me and the best you can do is give me a tap up the bum, I know I've already won that battle. So I just keep it on the straight and narrow and I wait for the stewards to do their work and whatever you off in the back with your penalties.
Yeah, no, I've done a bit of defensive driving work with a few of the Kovacs boys, just trying to not stress under pressure. I copped a few love taps from them, so yeah, I don't stress as much as I used to, but definitely still get the stress on. But as long as you stick the car in the right position, if they hit you, mate, then yeah, like you said, Jamie, you win. You're pretty much winning that battle.
I think what stresses me out more, which usually results in an accident, is in the longer endurance and special events, watching the delta of the car chasing you come down. That's when I make mistakes.
I try not to look at it otherwise. Yeah, then I do start stressing.
Yeah, that's actually a really good call. I reckon I feel more pressure from the delta of a car behind me. Like if I'm 6-7 seconds clear and it's just creeping down by sort of 4/10 a lap, that sort of thing, that's way more pressure than having a car behind me. Because I don't use virtual mirror or any sorts of mirror for that reason. If I drive in my mirrors, then I am terrible. So I turned all that crap off. So I don't have any mirrors or any of that sort of crap going on. But you're spot on. If I have a delta coming down, that's actually really intimidating. That's a great call.
Yeah, and question as well, because I haven't seen too many other people do this, but if I'm sort of alone
Hold that
on
question.
track,
Just hold that question, because I reckon this is going to be a move down here into turn 11. This is Kovacs on Kovacs action. Senecas pulls it up, doesn't
Actually, it's Kovacs on Kovacs, actually.
It really is, yeah. You got Gibbo following these two along as well, so triple Kovacs action. Sorry, go ahead. Didn't mean to catch off there, Ted.
Triple Kovacs, that's a double vaccinated and booster. All fighting.
Well played.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen too many other people do it, but if I'm alone on track and I don't need the what's it called, like the spatial awareness arrow things, if you're driving next to somebody. Oh, quite deep into turn 1 there. And
that's Bushell who used his braking marker, and Senecas goes past pretty easily. Does Gibbo get him as well? He does. So just not quite bringing it together for this race is Bushell. I wanted him to win it, but he's leaking positions now.
I think you've cursed him, JC.
No, I haven't cursed him. I'm just supporting him. That's all it was. I didn't say... A curse is when I said he's having a good race. I just wished him to have a good race. That's not a curse. Get out. You cursed everyone, you safety car bringer.
Duong is laughing right now. Jacoman has another 10-second penalty.
Oh no, what's happened there? Higden also has a penalty. Car 87 also has a penalty for speeding in the pit lane on lap 12.
That hurts. Speeding in the pit lane hurts even more when there's no mandatory pit stop and speeding in the pit lane because you get damaged or something.
Ooh, bit of contact there with the Duong and steam cam.
Yep, correct.
Steam cam got a bit loose there. Held onto it though. Giacomo, he's going to have to definitely let it all go, or is he just... What would be your situation right now, JC and Ollie? If you got the 20-second penalty, do you just try and do what you can, or are you just going to sit there and just run the laps down? Oh, that was close.
Probably treat it as practice. Get a bit of racing in. Try not to ruin anyone else's racing, but 20-second penalty at this point in the race is pretty hard to come back from.
Yeah, especially on track with no overtakes. 8 minutes to go. You just surely just tuck in now. You got a 4-second gap to Seneca's behind you. You're just looking to not increase the pain and get any more penalties. He's already holding the purple lap, so he gets a little couple of points from that. Obviously did very well in race 1 as well, so it's not like he's not getting any points out of this weekend, but yeah, just don't make it worse. 20 seconds is going to drop him back to probably P15 on my quick maths there, maybe a little lower. So it's not a terrible result, but yeah, just don't make it worse. Grab yourself another pen. So it looks like Duong up the inside here into turn 11 is going to get this one done. Yeah, deep under brakes. Oh, I'll tell you what,
no.
who is that? Is Ignan.
That's Ignan. Oh, jeez.
Goodness
Duong would not be happy with that.
Oh, Duong's life just flashed before his eyes as he saw Hignet fly over his hood. Hignet getting that all sorts of wrong. He actually did pretty well just quietly to avoid the carnage.
There's contact.
He didn't lock the brakes. He threw it down the inside and then managed to avoid all damage. But yeah, that was a massive error there from Hignet, missing the brakes by a long way. So that's a one that the stewards will have a look at, regardless of whether a number's called out. And there was no incident, but yeah, it's still a pretty dangerous send from a long, long way back. So I wouldn't be surprised if the stewards give him a little tap for that one as well. But yeah, could have been much, much, much worse. Duong up there in P4. He would have been very happy if he had his driver side door punched in by that one. Say driver side door, it'd actually be his passenger side door, and these bloody European cars, it'd be the other side, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
The Bentley's the only one with the driver on the right.
I was saying before we got interrupted by a bit of action, which is always good. A happy interruption is.
Goddamn action! How dare you interrupt us?
Well, I turn my HUD off if I'm alone on track. Well, not alone on track, but not going wheel to wheel. But helps me concentrate. I'm curious, does anyone else do that?
No, I don't turn the HUD off. If you got a hotkey for that.
I've got it mapped on. I've got a Fanatec Formula wheel, and I've got it mapped onto that to flick through the HUD menus, and I just go to blank.
Nice. I'll tell you what. That's I like it. It's got merit, that idea. I might look that up. I say look it up. You told me how to do it. Yeah, I haven't done that, but that's a good little call for me. I might give that a go.
Yeah, I think immersion as well, because you just use the dash, on the actual car as opposed to the sort of in-game HUD. I enjoy it, but you just don't have the little arrows, when you're going wheel to wheel. So when you're going wheel to wheel, I turn it on so I know where people are on track. I don't have triple monitors, so I can't see all the way around, unfortunately. Steve Lewis recently picked up a VR headset, was talking the other day about doing special events in that. I'll tell you what, if I had to do 12 hours of Bathurst in a VR headset, I would throw up everywhere. No questions.
I was all worried me just my neck would be getting see if it just with the motions, and I reckon my head would follow through.
Don't, never mind all the bloody sweat you'd be pouring in from your eyeball sweat.
Sweated away.
A 30-minute sprint race, it could be fun, but I think any longer than that in a stint, I'd be feeling unwell.
Look, I've been trying not to mention this, but with 4.5 minutes to go, Jacob Weatherburn is about to win this race. I don't want to curse him off the road. I'm trying to avoid that. It's not a curse. I'm still wishing him all the best. And let's keep the camera off him. We don't need any of that happening, but he's up there 4 seconds clear of David Barker. So looking very tidy up there in P1 as Jacob Weatherburn for a victory here in the Sprint Series. David Barker doing very nicely up there again in the AM class. P1 position. Yeah, don't know how he's managed to sneak away as an AM this year, but he's doing nicely up there at P2 at the moment. Very, very pacey Bowie. Harding doing very nicely in the podium position as well, P3, but he's got Duong sweating on him here. On board with Giacomo as he watches Duong chase down Harding. That's a 5-second penalty for an infraction on lap 2. So you can see the stewards still working so hard in the background. We love their work and our hats are off to the stewards. Still poring over incidents from 20 minutes ago now. That's how hard they work in there. Go and give your nearest steward a hug after this one. It's been a long night for them.
Much appreciation to them.
Long, arduous night for them. Split yellow, the carnage they had to sort out there, and then obviously Jesse cursing people off the road here in split green as well, so...
It's alright. We'll make them work for your money. That's alright.
Yeah, all that iced coffee they get paid in.
Yeah, exactly. All the iced coffee you owe us too, mate.
Reach out to them for a sponsorship. Got a lot of airtime tonight.
Farmers Union.
Right, we've already contacted them, don't worry about that. Yep, I've got my contacts at Dare. Noel's got his contacts at Farmers Union. So, they've all been contacted.
Any other companies we could look into?
Well, there'll be some developments in that space coming up shortly. Little birdie tells me there might be some iced coffee themed esports teams appearing pretty shortly. So keep your eyes out for that in the next few special events coming up. Obviously off to Spa for our next big event. Looking forward to that one.
Is that ice coffee? Is that ice break or something?
No,
Yeah, another one? Yeah,
No,
I never said they were. I don't know, don't drink it. Go at me.
Curious to see if Duong is going to take Harding here, getting very close. Only coming up to a minute and a half left.
Giacomo pushing very hard too as well.
So this is that pressure we were talking about. Harding knows who Duong is. He knows he's a race winner. I think he's a split winner as well. I think Brian's won a split, if not a few, in the Sprint Series. Someone might pull up the history for that one. I think Duong is a split winner here in OOR, so he's certainly got the credentials. He's got the pace, and Harding will be feeling that pressure with what I would think is 1 lap to go. Jacob Weatherburn up the road, but not too far up the road, so just the 1 lap to go here.
Barker making a lot of pace, so I think Weatherburn's just sitting the lap time and just running with it. He is dropping time here.
He is dropping time, but you're right. I think you might be right though. Maybe he's just taking the foot off the pedal a little bit, just bringing it home nicely, which he's entitled to do with that nice little 4-second gap he had built, down to 2.5 now, but this is the battle. Duong wants this podium. He's breathing fire down the back of Harding here. Harding's got his car in all the right places. Duong's been here for laps. Like, let's take our hat off to Harding here for a minute. Duong has been putting this pressure on for probably 6 or 7 minutes now, and Harding hasn't cracked yet. So I wouldn't expect him to on this last lap. He's just got to keep it together, and he'll happily bring home a podium for himself. More penalties coming through now for a couple more incidents.
Diabol's in chat. If Yoda underfueled, I swear to
No.
God.
Get out of here with that nonsense. That can't be it. Surely not. Oh, I'll tell you what, he didn't get the traction out of there, and Duong's up alongside now into turn 11. On the last lap, is he going to get it done? This is heartbreaking for Harding. Harding won't give it up easy, but Duong gets it done. That's a classy move.
Oh, contact.
Bumped up there.
Yeah, well, that was... Duong obviously had to...
Oh,
no.
no.
Oh, no.
No.
That's terrible.
That's not
Jacob
ideal.
didn't need that. He'd moved his way up to P5, and yes, he had 20 seconds penalties, but Jacob fucking Witherburn! Get over the line, Yoda. Yes, mates. I am pretty confident that's his first win in ACC, so hats off to Jacob for that one. David Barker up there in P2, and Ryan Duong grabs the podium with that nice move into T11. That kicked off a bit of a messy incident there between Harding and Jacoman, which drops Harding and Jacoman back through the field. Harding comes across in P4, but he'll get a slap for that one, so he won't hold on to points there. Steenkamp probably grabs P4 from him. That's Jacoman very unhappy with the end of that race and showing his displeasure. Zachary James doing a little pirouette across the line there as well. It was Hignett crossing the line in 6th, but he loses out with his penalties. Senekis is up there. Gibbo's up there. Bush is in the top 10 again. What a season he's having. Love up there in P10 after qualifying on P13. Well, P1 in the last super qualifying. It started P13, so moves his way up in the top 10, does nicely. Jacoman, that's a night he wants to forget. The purple lap is about all he's got to hang his hat on. He'd done well to make his way up to P5, but then he got absolutely murdered by Harding there at the end. So, unfortunate for him. Sandesi, another one who's had a night he'd probably rather forget. Mike Reel, down here in P21, obviously involved in some of the earlier action. So, not his best race either. Either by his fault or not. Sandesi just doing the Austin Power Simulator there as he reverses to and fro. And car 13, I think that's Barker. Nice work. There he is. P2 for him. So he'd be very happy with that.
Green light, green light.
But another eventful night in split yellow and split green ends with Jacob Weatherburn. If you don't mind, P1. Congratulations, mate. D. Barker, P2, and Duong, P3. For Pro-Ams, it was Bushell bringing home another Pro-Am victory. You'd be disappointed he dropped that many positions in race 2, but still nice having a Pro-Am victory under your belt. Love, P2, and Withers, P3. And, of course, Barker being the only Am, we will say that he's won the M class again, but hey, P2 with 20 kegs hanging off his back in that McLaren as well. Nice work from you, mate.
Very impressive.
Welcome to Pro Class, David Barker. Spot on. Yep. He'll get a little tap on the shoulder for sure at some point, either this week or next, probably after Kyalami. Let's be honest. We'll finish off this season and then we'll rejig that before we go to the next season, which, as I said earlier on tonight, there'll be a short break between the seasons as we wait for this DLC to come through and we decide what we're going to do with that. We're off to Kyalami. Well, we've still got Split Blue and Split Red to go here at Zandvoort tomorrow night, so be sure to be here tomorrow for that. F1 series on a break at the moment, so nothing on this Sunday, but we've got some Patreon races happening at the moment, so if you're not a Patreon yet, go out there and spend, I think it's $5 a month, like literally a coffee a month. So if you're not a Patreon, get involved in these Patreon races. There's prizes and whatnot happening on a Sunday night at the moment, and then we're off to Kyalami for the last round of the Sprint Series next week. Jesse McLean, you've been with me all night. Absolutely loved your work. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you. It's a pleasure.
And Ollie Daniel, an excellent debut from you. Really classy, full of confidence. Loved your sprightly attitude. Very glad to have you on board.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Manly sucks, by the way.
Hey, well, all right.
I'm just getting aggressive now.
You two just get out the back and sort out your differences. Mull, thank you for your work behind the camera. Stewards, thank you very much for your work, obviously, as always. And chat, MVP from you. Diabol's here all night. Jan Tully, love your work. Raphael, everyone who was involved. Gorilla Snapper has been in there. Excellent work from you, chat. Thank you very much. My name is Jamie Comboy. It's been Jesse and Ollie with me. We'll see you tomorrow night for Split Blue and Split Red.
Awesome. Thank you
Catch
very
you all
much,
next time.
everyone. Bye.